Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome. This is Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. Come on in, sit on down. Stop playing with yourself. Pay attention here. We've got a jam-packed show tonight. Holy shit, I should have got more creative with the intro music since we're going to be doing copyright violations tonight, okay? We've got a new parody song, brand new parody song to play. Guys, this fucking parody song might be the end of my career. Oh, fuck. Guys, I don't know what I'm going to do about a video for this. So I guess I can make one like I normally do, but I was hoping I could utilize some kind of AI, which I already have for some pictures. Okay. And it was really funny because I already told someone else about this. So I guess I use Grok, the fucking Twitter artificial intelligence thing. I used Grok and I asked it to make certain pictures for me, and it made the pictures, but then wouldn't show me the pictures. It is the funniest shit ever. It is the funniest shit ever. I was trying to get Grok, whatever. I'll go ahead and spoil it a little bit. But you can imagine this is where I'm going with it if I used AI and it would not do it. I asked Grok, the Twitter AI shit, to make me some pictures. I said, can you make some pictures of Kanye West dressed as Hitler? Oh my God. And it made the pictures. And right when the pictures started loading, you could see it got halfway down the picture, loading the picture, and then it would just censor the picture. Because I guess it it put him in some kind of outfit with swastikas or something on it. I don't know. But yeah, guys, the new parody is about Kanye West having these anti-Semitic outbursts. Okay. Now I don't know how I really don't even know how I should do this. Should we jump? Yeah, okay. We'll play the parody first, and don't worry, chat. I'm gonna get to the chat in a second, but we'll play the parody first, and then jump into the debate, and then I'll end the show with the parody if anybody gets here late. So yeah, that's the plan for tonight. You guys feeling slutty? You feeling it? You getting boners and stuff? All right, let me get to the chat. Oh, hold on. Where we go? Okay, Stacy G's up in here. What's up, Stacy G? Bob Cook, Fat Pig, Lover. I'm gonna try to get down to the bottom quick so we can get started here because I do need to work on this video. I wanted to release the video for this song by Friday for in time for the stream. And I don't think I'm going camping. I talked about going camping maybe. I don't think that's happening. So I should be live Friday. But I'm hoping I can finish it in time, the video. I'm just premiering the song for you guys. You're going to be able to hear it tonight. Michael Earl, what's up? What's up? Thank you for joining us. Rainy's up in here slinging fucking houses. She's going to give me a cut of the profits. Thank you, Rainy, for joining us. Airplane Willie, got to admit, I'm kind of pissed about Skid Mark getting all that airtime. Holyoke Joe. Yeah, I don't know. A few people text me. They're like, damn, man, you were just out of the doghouse. You were just you guys just bridged the gap, rebuilt the burnt bridge, or what? There was no real burnt bridge, but you know what? We just we settled our differences. I don't know how many other ways I can try to say it. Bubba and then Holyoke Joe calls in and just stirs shit back up. I don't even know what he said. I just heard Holyoke Joe mention my name, and then Bubba goes, "Yeah, Dark Match Steve is on my last nerve too." So there we are with that. We'll see how that goes. No, I think everything's fine. I think the way I interpreted that, and I'm trying to interpret it positively, of course. The way I interpreted that was if I do something stupid, Bubba, like, if I do something outright, I don't know what, intentionally fucked up or something, Bubba would probably just tell me to fuck off forever after we just got through everything. So I don't fucking know how to interpret it. Whatever. But I got mentioned on Bubba's show again. That's you know what? As long as he's not saying, reporting to you guys that I died in some kind of fiery car wreck, I guess that's a good thing. Snizzook Slizair is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. He's here. Promo code Lover. Good evening, big boners in chat. Inbound Realty, Hinstar, Big Wieners. You have the wiener dog, right? Fightable debate with that guy. Low-hanging fruit. Dude, I don't know. Destiny's really smart. And you know what? I think him and Andrew have an interesting chemistry because Destiny, I think, fully understands that Andrew Wilson is a formidable opponent for him. And that's not the case with a lot of people. So, I get people are split. You either love him or hate him, that Destiny guy and whatever. If some people hate him, I can understand why. I don't hate him. I think Destiny's smart. I think he does weird shit. I don't know. And there's some opinions he has that I think are just downright, whatever, disagreeable. Scott Starboard's up in here. What's up, Lover? Thanks for joining us. What's up, Scott? Do a parody song about hitting the like button? Is that what I need to fucking do to hit the algorithms? I'll do what I have to do, I guess. Maybe I do need to make a parody song. I thought just, virtually sucking D's on the stream. I thought that would get me a lot further. Tina's up in here. What's up? What's up, Tina? Bub Army Mom. Eat more. What's up, lover? Thanks for joining us. The DMS posse. I guess we are. We could do got a little posse going here, don't we? It's party time, parody time. It's that time. Let me get to the bottom of this chat. I think we caught up with everybody. Oh, Dutch Duke over on the Facebook. What's up, Dutch Duke, lover? Thank you, sir, for joining us. We appreciate you. Natural Aspired's up in here. What's up? How's it going, dude? All right, let's get into the oh shit, Jolly Holly over on the fucking YouTube. Dustin, his food takes are brutal. Who, Bubba? What were we talking about? Maybe I skipped too far. Who are we talking about? Thank you all for joining us. Please do hit the fucking like button for real. That helps a lot. I need to set up a thing in here, a poll thing like Stein does for every show, telling you to fucking hit the like button. I need to do something like that. All right. So let's get down to business. Gonna make you come. You're the sexiest bunch I ever met, but we don't have any lube. Somehow I'll get a load out of you. I'll jerk you off. Da 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 da. Okay. So, guys, the parody, let's pull up what the original is. And just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys I'd probably do this. Look, I hit up Seth Kushner. I messaged him, and maybe I don't think he reads his messages as much. Maybe, I don't know. Because he didn't see my last ones. He responded to me about what email to send it to, but he did that like publicly on a Twitter post. But he hasn't responded to my messages, which is fine. But I just, I just to to have good communication and show that I do respect him. Seth is funny as fuck. Seth cracks me up every fucking day on Bubba's show. I respect him a lot. And I don't want him to interpret this new parody song as an insult towards him. Okay, I messaged him and I said, look, dude. And he mentioned I was talking about the Kanye song in chat. People were asking me about it, and we were talking about it in Bubba's chat this morning. And and Seth pointed it out. He said, "Dark Match Steve has a new Kanye West song. It's really offensive." And so yeah, I hit him up and I messaged him and I was like, "Dude, look, this song's it's really bad. It's really offensive. I don't want you to be mad at me or think something the wrong way. I respect you a lot. I appreciate the opportunity with the podcast position and all that, but I just don't want you to think I have, like I have an actual anyway. Let's move on. I sent him a message, okay? So here we go. Kanye West, anti-Semitic outburst. Let me pull up the original. So guys, oh, fuck. Hold on. All right, guys. So here's the original. This is a song I'm doing a parody of. Are you guys ready for this? Is this too early? Do we got enough people in here? I think so. So look. The original is called Flashing Lights. You guys know this song. It's famous. It's a smash hit. I actually really like this song. I'll go down here. Okay. But this is Flashing Lights by Kanye West. Just a little refresher, or maybe if somebody doesn't know the song, I don't know. Just get a feel for it, the sound. Just so that when I play my song, you know what a good job I did.
Flashing lights, flashing lights, flashing lights, flashing.
Yeah, it's whimsical. This is a fucking jam, Eat More. This song is good. This is the kind of music he made before he started having schizophrenic anti-Semitic rants on Twitter.
She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. Wood floors in the new apartment. Couture from the store's departments. You more like love to start. I'm more of the trips to Florida, order the hors d'oeuvres, views of the water, straight from a page of your favorite author. And the weather's so breezy, man, why can't life always be this easy? She in the mirror dancing so sleazy. I get a call like, where are you, Yeezy? And try to hit you with the old wacky till I got flashed by the paparazzi. These got me. I hate these more than a Nazi. I know you love.
He said, I hate the paparazzi more than Nazis. Sort of, you know what? That's a little bit of foreshadowing. This is way before this song came out years and years ago, way before any of the anti-Semitic stuff. And here we go. He says, I hate the paparazzi more than Nazis. But he did it in a couple measures. It wasn't that compressed. But that's what he just said.
To show off, but I never thought that you would take it this far. What do I know?
Flashing lights,
What do I know?
flashing
I know it's been a while, sweetheart. We hardly talk. I was doing my thing. I know it was foul, baby. Hey, babe, lately you've been all on my brain. And if somebody would have told me a month ago, front and oh, yo, I wouldn't want to know. If somebody would have told me a year ago, it'd go get this difficult. Feeling like Katrina with no FEMA.
I can't believe you guys don't know this song. Truth is Unbreakable. Thanks for joining us. What's up? Did I already highlight you earlier? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, this is a fucking smash hit. You guys never heard it. Glad I don't know this song. Jesus Christ, guys. This is actually good music. There's not a whole lot of Kanye West that I recommend to other people. That American Boy song with the chick singing, would you be my American boy, American boy? That shit. And then he's like rapping. That's a good one too. But yeah, this is a fucking smash hit. You guys don't know Kanye? Oh, Scott Sarbert. Thank God someone knows this song. I'm an intrep. What the fuck does that mean, Biggie? Oh, Maria's in here. What's up? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, she knows it. Okay. All right. Some of y'all know it. That's I guess you can still appreciate if that's your first time hearing the original and then see what I made, the abomination I'm about to play. Sounds flat like it was recorded in a closet. Maybe it was because he is a gay fish. You guys know that song, The Gay Fish? That was South Park. Okay.
Like Martin with no Gina. Like a flight with no visa. First class with the seat back, I still see ya. In my past, you on the other side of the glass of my memories museum. I'm just saying, hey Mona Lisa, come home. You know you can't roam without Caesar. I know you love to show off, but I never thought that you would take it this far. What do I know?
flashing lights,
What do I know?
flashing lights.
All right, that's it right there, pretty much. Philip Anthony, thanks for joining us. What's up? What's up? You know it. That's good. All right, so I'm wondering what. Hold on. I just got an idea. No. Would this be a distraction? I don't know. All right, I'll just play mine. We won't pull up a video. I was gonna be funny and just pull up a compilation of like Hitler, you know, just out and about, but we won't do that. We'll just play the song. That might be a little too intense. I don't think. Okay, let's go. All right, guys, the song is Jesus Christ. Now that I've made it, I don't even want to fucking say it. It's so offensive. All right, so guys, just hear me out, all right? Just hear me out. Look, this is what we're doing, okay? Look, guys, the parody is written and performed as if it's Kanye West singing the song, like as if he made a different version of Flashing Lights, but he made it about hating Jews, okay? So just bear with me here, okay? None of the lyrics in this song is stuff that I believe or agree with necessarily. Oh, fuck, man. Okay. All right, let's get to it, okay? The title The title of the original, of course, is Flashing Lights. The title of my parody about Kanye West hating Jews, this is called it's called I'm only going to say it once and then it's going to be censored the rest of the times that I say this, okay? I don't like saying this word. It's not a word that's like in my vocabulary, all right? The title of my parody song about Kanye West hating Jews is called Bashing Kikes. Okay, that's the last time we're saying it. I'm not saying it again, all right? I'm sorry that's offensive. It's just catchy, and we're going to get some clicks and or get canceled. So, all right, let's oh God. Oh fuck. All right, so let's go. Come on, guys. Yes, it's funny. It's funny. Let's come on. Let's laugh. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go.
Bashing kikes. Bashing kikes. Bashing kikes. Bashing kikes.
I don't believe in Jewish stars, but I believe that their dicks have scars. They cut foreskins like cigar tips. They use Muslims as human targets to turn Gaza into new apartments. I'm more inclined to free Palestine, reading Mein Kampf with the view of the water, cause Hitler is my favorite author. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. If you know the original lyrics, you know that this is really good. Reading Mein Kampf with the view of the water, cause Hitler is my favorite author. Oh my God. Okay, Maria, I don't want to see those emojis. These are not my opinions. This is what Kanye West thinks. All right, let's get back to it. I make getting canceled look easy. Adidas, stop producing my Yeezy. Saying shalom sounds so cheesy. Do a Nazi salute when you see me. You'll find brain tumors probably when the coroner does my autopsy. Call me Eva Braun when you mock me, cause I love Hitler more
As
than
you
Nazis.
recall, you know I love to mouth off, but you never thought I'd be a fan of Adolf. I like to troll, bashing kikes. Now I've lost control, bashing kikes. No.
I know I sound vile, my style, Gentile, Sieg Heil, I cannot refrain.
I know I'm cray cray, oy vey, like RFK. I have worms in my brain. I hope you all breathe in some gases and get turned into ashes. If your pictures get added to a Holocaust museum, I hope nobody goes to see them. You know I love to mouth off, but you never thought I'd be a fan of Adolf. I like to troll, bashing kikes. Now I've lost control, bashing kikes. Oh no.
Guys. Jesus Christ. Is that a fucking smash hit or what? Is that a fucking smash hit or what? What the fuck is wrong with me that I come up with this stuff? What is wrong with me? Oh my god, dude. I don't think you guys realize how brilliant some of these lyrics are, okay? Um what's the hold on, let me pull up the lyrics just so I can read them properly. Okay. Dude. Okay, you guys know on his Twitter, on fucking Kanye's Twitter before his stuff got before his stuff got taken down, he said, "Call me Yadolf Hitler." You guys remember that? Like his name is Ye. And he said, "Call me Yadolf Hitler." Fucking this line, this part that I wrote goes, "They'll find brain tumors probably when the coroner does my autopsy. Call me Yeva Braun when you mock me, because I love Hitler more than Nazis." Oh my god. Yeva Braun. Like Ava Braun was Hitler's girlfriend. I said, call him Yeva Braun, because he loves Hitler more than Nazis. It's so, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know how I pulled this one out of my ass. Oh my god. Yes, it's making fun of Kanye. I didn't want anybody to get it twisted. Yeva Braun, yes. Thank you. That's your favorite line. I know, that's my favorite too. That's my favorite. Call me Yeva Braun when you mock me. Okay. That's good fun. Oh fuck, you know what I didn't? Fuck. There was this other song I was gonna play. I guess I can get it real quick. But yeah, we'll play that again at least one more time on the stream here. You will see if Carlos Mandingo shows up in here. I told him I'd be playing it, but I gotta make a video for that. Gotta make a video, and I don't know if I should do like a lyric video and just use like pictures of Kanye. Because so I told you I use Grok to try to produce some. I recorded it in case you get cancer. Jesus Christ, that's dark. But no, thank you. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. Stacy G, what the fuck? Don't judge me. I'm reading Mein Kampf. Very interesting, especially since I'm a Jew. That's funny. I'm scared to read it. I'm scared to be caught with a book in my house or something. I don't know. Oh, yeah. You meant canceled. Oh, that's funny. Here, let me see if guys, I found this earlier today. This will take me 2 minutes, not even. Let me pull this other song up. This is an old song I did for Bubba. I don't know if other people remember this. Let me see. but I listened to it today and I was cracking up. Okay, hold on. Okay, we got it. Give me 1 second and it'll be imported here. Let's see, media assets. Okay. Tell me, guys, if you remember this. I'm going to start using this as an intro, too. Let me get it up here. Now, unfortunately, this isn't the best quality, guys. This was back before I knew how to use GarageBand and stuff, and before I knew how to get decent quality samples of shit. Okay, tell me if you guys remember the Touch Me Where I Potty contest. Do you guys remember that? So this one day, Seth Kushner, just like with like a random outburst, sort of said, "Oh, touch me where I potty." Just like, I don't know. I can't imagine what was going on through his head. I don't think I want to know, but he just said it out loud. And and they said to make an EDM song like you guys know Bubba had Manson, I think it was Manson that did the remake of what the fuck is the name of the original? Let Me Take a Selfie. That one. That song, Let Me Take a Selfie. So they had us, and I won the contest, but it's not the best quality, but we're going to play it. Yes, exactly. Eat more. You got to draw the line somewhere. We can make a joke about the Holocaust, but not cancer. This is a very dark stream tonight, and I did not want it to. I was trying to, Anyway, here we go. Do you guys remember this one? I fucking love this.
I had this scenario happen to me a couple weeks ago. Seth and I had some pleasantries at the door. I'm very much attracted to him. I don't know if you can feel it, Seth, but when I get close to you, I just want to grab.
It's sexual tension, yeah. It's a lot of sexual tension, and at this stage in the game, I'm not turning down anything. You have no choice. Yeah.
As soon as I walked back in here from peeing, I turned to Seth Kushner and said, "Touch me where I potty."
If you like that, there's a whole subreddit of nothing but pictures and videos.
No. Yep. It's not my new favorite thing.
Guys, this is all, you guys have no idea what I went through to make this. You guys realize none of this stuff that they're saying is in the order in which they said it. None of it. Every single part where you hear a clip stop and then something else happen, it's all, I pulled audio clips from like 15 different fucking shows. You guys have no idea how much, you guys have no idea what I went through to make this. Okay, I was listening just nonstop, listening to podcasts and the shows, and just I hear someone say something at some point. I'd be like, "Oh, that is a good drop. I'm going to use that." And I just like, I just stitched it all together, and it sounds fucked up.
Oh, touch me where I potty.
Touch me where I potty. How long is it, first of all?
Dr. Dan, how big do you think that is?
It's an eighth of an inch.
That's pretty good, isn't it? I'm surprised that you were trepidatious to accept that.
Oh. You will just fit. Touch me where I potty.
Touch it. Just touch it.
But before all that,
touch me where I potty.
Touch me where I potty.
Is that a fetish of yours?
Is that a fetish of mine? Yeah. me and Seth, we actually sword fight with our boobs. You want to join me and Blitz's man boob sword fighting? It's really hot. Saturday nights with me and Blitz going ahead and taking our boobs around the farm.
I'll challenge all you guys.
Touch me where I potty.
Bro, what the fuck is wrong with me, guys? I think I think I may have cancer. I think it may be a brain tumor. What the fuck? I seriously what? Oh fuck! You have to give it to him. Oh, oh, Macho Man for $1.99. Holy fuck, man. Dude, the problem is, and I hate it, guys. I fucking hate it. I wish I had the drops and the timestamps for all of that shit still, and I could go remake it better quality. The problem is, it's just all of the samples are fucking terrible quality. I didn't know what I was doing back then. I think I literally recorded them from a fucking speaker. You know, I put the mic up to a speaker and fucking played it, and it just like some of it just sounds like shit. Oh, really? You guys think that's a good idea? I'll send it to him for real. I will. I'll slip it to Macho. It'll be a surprise. Maybe I won't tell Lummy or anybody. I'll just I'll give it to Macho. I'll be like, dude, play this, see how it goes. And just out of nowhere, they start playing this, and Bubba starts hearing himself. Touch me where I potty. Mastering software. Dude, the thing is, well, back then, I didn't know how to fucking do anything. Bro, that song is from like 4 or 5 years ago. And at this point, I don't have the samples and stuff to get anything clean to where I could change the levels of anything or whatever. Like, I mean, it's just, that's what we got. So it'll get a huge pop guaranteed. Yeah. Dude, I think it would too. You want me to play it again, Stacy? Jesus Christ. We're going to be using that as an intro song here and there, guys. We're going to mix it in. We'll play it one more time. Then we got to get into the debate, guys. It's almost 9 o'clock already. Guys, I won't lie. There's sometimes when I made this song back in the day, like it took me a bit. I had to listen to it a bunch of times just to edit it together and do, and you know, all that, which goes for every song I make. By the time I'm done doing the parody song, I'm basically sick of it. If it's a really good one, I still fucking love it, like my newest one we just played tonight. But this song I played hundreds of times because it was just so fucking funny, and the beat and everything isn't bad too. It's catchy, but I listened to this 100, just like it was ridiculous. I would play it like a few times a day, just like, oh my god, just. You know, if I got mad about something, I'd be like, I'm playing Touch Me Where I Potty. I don't give a fuck.
I had this scenario happen to me a couple weeks ago. Seth and I had some pleasantries at the door. I'm very much attracted to him. I don't know if you can feel it, Seth, but when I get close to you, I just want to grab you.
It's sexual tension, yeah. It's a lot of sexual tension, and at this stage in the game, I'm not turning down anything. You have no choice. Yeah.
As soon as I walked back in here from peeing, I turned to Seth Kushner and said, touch me where I potty.
That's not even what he said. You guys realize that? That's not the original drop. I made it sound gay. That's what happened here.
Touch me where I potty.
Oh, if you like that, there's a whole subreddit of nothing but pictures and videos.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Just found my new favorite thing.
Oh, touch me where I potty.
Touch me where I potty. How long is it, first of all?
Dr. Dan, how big do you think that is?
It's an eighth of an inch.
That's pretty good, isn't it? I'm surprised that you were trepidatious to accept that.
Oh, you will just fit. Touch me where I potty.
Dude, this part, what they're talking about, if you guys, you might even remember this, the fucking app, someone called in to the show and asked about how to operate the Bubba Army Radio app. This was back in the day. And what you had to do, if you guys remember, to get to Bubba 1, Bubba 2, and the different channels, you had to go to the top. I forget it was top right or left. I think it was top right, but it had the fucking menu button. You know, it looks like a page with lines on it or whatever. It's a little menu button. And you hit that, and then it pops up the options of what channels to get to, if you guys remember. In this part, this caller, where I got this drop from, it sounds like they're talking about somebody's dick that's in the studio. And Lummy goes, Dr. Dan, how big is that? And Dan goes, that's an eighth of an inch. They're talking about the little button that's in the top right corner of the Bubba Army Radio app back in the day. And the caller's like, I don't know how to operate this. How do I get to Bubba 1? And they're like, you have to touch that button. It's a little button at the top. And then Lummy's like, Dr. Dan, how big do you think that is? He's like, it's an eighth of an inch. And they're like, you got to touch that button. And then Dan goes, just touch it. Just touch it.
Touch it. Just touch it.
I made it sound extremely gay, guys. I'm sorry. This is more gay than I remember it being.
But before all that,
touch me where I potty.
Touch me where I potty.
Is that a fetish of yours?
Is that a fetish of mine?
Yeah.
Me and Seth, we actually sword fight with our boobs. You want to join me in Blitz's man boob sword fighting? It's really hot. Saturday night with me and Blitz going ahead and taking our boobs around the farm.
I'll challenge all you guys.
Touch me where I potty.
All right, guys, enough of that. We got to get to this goddamn debate. I can't bait and switch everybody. We have to at least watch it, even if I just stay quiet and play it at double speed. We got to at least find this fucking debate. All right, I'm pulling it up on this other tab. Where are you at?
Excuse me. Play you for those.
Oh.
Decides is necessary.
Okay. Let's watch and see if Destiny eats a bag of dicks here. Not literally. If you want to watch that, you can go find a video of it on Twitter. Thank you, Stacy. I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the madness. This is just a brief glimpse into my fucked up brain. These little songs I do. All right.
I would say let's try and keep things civilized, but that's entirely down to you.
Leftists are just pissed for no good reason. Musk is collecting all these people's information. It's like unelected officials at the DMV are collecting my information.
Elon Musk is definitionally an unelected bureaucrat, cutting whatever he decides is necessary.
He hasn't cut anything. What have they cut?
I don't think that Doge even exists. I don't think they have the legal capacity to even do what Trump wants them to do. Trump was already found to have had people who were working with him collude with Russia. Roger Stone did it, but he was pardoned by Donald Trump, the same way Donald Trump pardoned all 1,600 J6 offenders.
Biden pardons the whole crime family.
The evidence against what's his name, isn't that a little bit shaky? Trump's buddy that he pardoned. I already forgot his name because I'm that baked right now. Roger Stone. Jesus Christ. I was having a stroke, I think.
But that's fine.
You had 8 years to investigate it. They had nothing.
Here's Destiny logic for you. As long as bad things are done via the process of law, that's fine.
I don't want to leave us without getting to the really contentious story of the week. It's been another whirlwind week in President Trump's USA, from outshining Taylor Swift to banning plastic straws and bringing Doge's Elon Musk to the Oval Office. Somewhat overlooked in the blizzard was Trump's order for a new task force on anti-Christian bias and the launch of a White House faith office led by televangelist Paula Michelle White-Cain.
The longer the dance, the more bees she gets aroused. So Queen Bee starts going into this frenzy, and she starts going around and around and around. And she goes into vibrations until all the bees get activated and all the bees start going forth. And she leads the way by stirring something up. Angels are being released.
We can learn from the bees.
Right now, angels are being dispatched right now. Amanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa tata rite eke banda ata rike didi ashata.
That's Satanism. This is brujeria. This is not Christianity, guys.
Angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now.
You can do with some of that energy. Well, Trump says that God saved him to save America, and many supporters are fully on board with making America holy again. But critics say it's a divisive move that could bulldoze the constitutional separation of church and state. Here to debate this and much more, two controversial commentators whose views of this world, and indeed the next, couldn't be more different. Destiny is an outspoken liberal and atheist who said that religion is trash and a substitute for human thought. Andrew Wilson is a fiercely committed conservative Christian and founder of the Crucible debate channel, who once said this about facing destiny.
You and Destiny on whatever podcast together. Been watching some older debates with you and him. Love watching you wipe the floor with them. Keep up the amazing work you do. I doubt it. I doubt there'll ever be another debate between myself and Destiny, and here's why. One, I'm blacklisted. He actually made a blacklist and put me on the blacklist.
Yes, so guys, in case you didn't know, I know some of the people in my chat don't give a fuck. They're kind of just here to hear the argument, and they don't really like Destiny or follow him, and that's fine. But what is kind of interesting is Destiny is sort of, I don't know what his numbers are like these days. I haven't been following him as closely. Stacy G, I appreciate that. I really do. I'm glad. Laughter's helping your cough. That's great. Cough that shit up. Rainy, yes. That's you know what? That is the best lyric I've ever fucking written. Call me Yeva Braun. Dude, it's so good. It's so fucking good, god damn it. So back to this. What's interesting with the Destiny thing is that not only has he sort of not burnt the bridge, but him and Andrew Wilson, they get into these little tiffs where they like, I don't know what's happened exactly. Someone said, I'll never debate you again, and I'll never be, we reviewed did we? Yeah. We reviewed them debating on Fresh and Fit. You guys remember that? They debated about the fucking inauguration, January 6th, the insurrection deal. And I don't remember when it was the most recently when Destiny kind of said he would not debate Andrew anymore, but that happened and Destiny's back. On top of that, Destiny has basically been throwing Piers Morgan under the bus every chance he fucking gets. Every time Piers Morgan gets brought up in some conversation Destiny has with, who the fuck ever, he makes a point to highlight that Piers Morgan is MAGA now. So like every conversation there is just like completely uncharitable and unfair to the lefty or whoever the fuck. And you know what? That is somewhat fair. But the impression that I got every time that I've heard Destiny bitch about Piers Morgan being a Trumper, the impression I get is that, I'm never going back there because Piers Morgan just, the way he moderates, you can tell he's just completely bought and sold MAGA, and he, the show is handicapped for MAGA people, and, just going off. But he's crawled back. Maybe his numbers are lower. I really don't know. He's probably doing fine, actually. But anyway, I've been too busy to keep up with him like I used to. And on top of everything else, I mean, all the terrible shit that's come out about Destiny and his romantic life and leaking nudes and all of this shit like that. I don't fucking know. I mean, it's not like I'm taking some moral high ground, and that's why I've not been watching the show, but he does a stream, whatever. But yeah, fucking, I haven't been keeping up with him as much. So let's see. He's crawled back to Piers Morgan to debate Andrew Wilson. And just like something about it, the equations here. I gave you all the factors. It just seems a little desperate. I don't know. It's probably not. He's probably just whatever.
So even if he says, well, now you're off the blacklist, I see no reason why I should engage with him.
Well, here you are. You're both together again to debate. I'm personally thrilled that the reality has come to this point. So welcome to both of you. I would say let's try and keep things civilized, but that's entirely down to you. It's your debate. I'll be in the middle of it. And hopefully we'll try and get through some complex issues in a constructive and interesting way. So welcome, anyway, to both of you. Let me start, Destiny. I mean, this whole idea of Donald Trump, making America holy again. What is your response to that?
I feel like we have a lot of issues right now in this country. I don't know if our president being a spiritual leader is one of them. There have been things that I've said about religion, mainly in regards to philosophy and how you reconcile like religion with some philosophical positions. But I do think that right now there's kind of a crisis of meaning in the United States. I think for a lot of people, religion can serve as a good foundation of meaning. However, I don't think that Donald Trump is going to be the guy to, I guess, usher in that era of religiosity in the United States, at least not for any wholly religious person that I know that would, look at a person and think, oh, this is like a spiritual leader that I would want.
Andrew, I would have kind of agreed with that, having known Trump a long time and never seen him as a particularly religious guy. I got to say, since he got shot, he sounds a very different guy about God, about religion. I've spoken to him myself several times. I mean, including once a week after he got shot, where he said, God must have had a plan for me. He must have saved me for a reason. He said, there can be no other explanation for why I came so close to being killed, but miraculously escaped. I do think he feels that really quite deeply.
Yeah, there's no atheist in foxholes, as the saying goes, right? So a near-death experience often will bring people closer to the divine. This is a very common thing. Doesn't surprise me that Trump narrowly, very narrowly, for a turn of his head, is still alive. I'm sure that he could definitely attribute that to divine intervention, and I'm sure
let's go at least 1.25. Destiny talks too fast. I don't expect to put this at fucking 2x and for anyone to get anything out of it. So let's speed up just a tad bit.
Even Destiny would understand why a person would do that. He's right about the fact that we do have a crisis of meaning, but he also is right, and I can concede on this point, that an office of faith with a chick speaking in tongues is cringe, and the most divisive thing on planet Earth is religion. It's the most divisive thing when it comes to, it's even more divisive than relationships. It's more divisive than sex. It's more divisive than anything, is the topic of religion itself. America is already very divided on religiosity, with a traditional camp and a non-traditional camp. I don't actually think that this was a great move for him to put in this office of faith, not because I do like the fact that it does signal that it's perfectly acceptable to rule through faith. I think that that's perfectly acceptable. However, I think strategically it wasn't particularly wise, as it opened up a dialogue now between the traditionalists, who were really Trump's kind of staunch supporters, saying, what the hell are you doing here? We don't want this woman, Paula, in any way or shape, form, or capacity representing Christianity on the national stage.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny, some people see MAGA Christian nationalism as racist. Time magazine said the toxic blend of ethno-religious identity politics was reflected in the prayers and religious symbols participants carried at the US Capitol insurrection on January the 6th, 2021, and it's become central to the trajectory of the contemporary MAGA Republican Party. Would you agree with that? Piers Morgan Uncensored is now proudly independent. If you like the show, we ask only one thing: subscribe on YouTube and follow Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Guys, make sure you hit the like button for him. I'm subscribed already. Go subscribe for real. Piers Morgan is having he's got good content these days. He's always got some good debates and controversial people. So yeah, Hit it.
On Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Now let's get straight to the point. Support for today's show comes from a business focused on a critical issue. Prosperity. US national debt is at crisis levels. Inflation has made life more expensive for everybody, and the stock market is precarious. It's enough to make anyone's financial future feel grim. So what is the solution? Well, a simple one is to opt out of the chaos and invest in something.
They can disagree that there is like a
Piers to 65532. All the details are in the description. Now on with the show.
Buy silver.
I don't think anybody can disagree that there is like a section of MAGA or far-right people that are racist in the United States. But I would say that this is a small section, and I don't think that it's worth focusing on. I think that progressives especially have this tendency to over-exaggerate. I mean, we were all on the internet when people were hunting every single person who made the OK symbol and saying that they were like some kind of closet Nazi or whatever during the Rittenhouse era. So, there are going to be racist people everywhere. But if you want to attack MAGA and you want to do it through the lens of they're racist white supremacists or whatever, I mean, most people, obviously MAGA is not going to care for a variety of reasons when they shouldn't. And even most people that are kind of like looking from the center or even from the center left are going to be like, well, I don't really know if I feel this way. Like MAGA kind of seems more colorful than they even have been in the past in terms of conservative movements. You can just look online and see that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of those types of attacks towards that, I guess, ideology, towards that camp.
You're sounding very reasonable today, Destiny. You're right.
I'm a very reasonable person, Piers.
Well, that is, he is right. There are better avenues for which to attack the MAGA movement that would actually be more effective for progressives. Them utilizing this type of attack actually didn't do them very much in the way of good in this last election cycle. And you saw this from large progressives.
It's weird to see everybody getting along here. I gotta say, I want somebody to start screaming.
Commentators, and this is all they did. Hassan Piker, among many others in the political commentary world, Bosch, other guys like this, they hyper focus on the racial dynamic issues. And Destiny's right. MAGA doesn't care. And most of the supporters of Trump don't care. And most Republicans at this point don't care because it's so overused that essentially if you overuse a phrase like this or these kinds of talking points too much, their effectiveness just basically gets destroyed.
So let's move from making America holy again to making America healthy again. I mean, Destiny is a divisive character. I've got to say about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I'd heard all the stuff about him. For the first time I interviewed him, I was quite combative with him. And I was pretty charmed by him and quite impressed by him, I've got to say. And I've interviewed him 4 or 5 times since. And I really don't think we've got the devil here at the head of the health service. I think we've got a guy who has a very curious mind, constantly asking questions, which probably need to be asked about the nation's health. He's also a fine figure of a guy for 70 who seems to practice what he preaches. Are you in favor or against him?
Absolutely against him. I think that there's this talking strategy that people like RFK do that drives me insane. And apparently it works for people like you, where somebody will say something that sounds on its face reasonable, but if you think about it for like 2 seconds, it's the dumbest thing ever. Like the idea of well, we need to be examining the safety of these pharmaceuticals. Like we need to look at the data. And it's like, well, yeah, of course. How do you think these things get passed? Or what do you think all the research is for? Like people like RFK will just say these things that sound good. Like, shouldn't we be doing research on long-term outcomes of, XYZ drug? And it's like, yeah, we should be. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, we do that. Of course we do. The FDA has a pretty good track record, all considered.
Andrew?
Yeah, but RFK is taking issue with the quality of some of these studies. And I think, on its face, see, what Destiny just said is you can almost apply the beginning of what he said. It's funny because you can apply that to what he just said now. The fact that he will say something that on its face, it sounds like reasonable, like, oh yeah, he said this, but we already do this and whatever. Bro, there are constantly people being injured by drugs that they were not aware were such a risk. And there's a reason for that. Some of these pharmaceutical companies play fucking games with data. I'm in such a tight spot at the moment because I kind of don't believe in studies anymore. I'm just like, I'm more and more feeling like you really have to operate on intuition and try to sniff out when something is just not right. And, I depending on who funds the study changes what kind of data you get out of it and stuff. We've all seen this shit time and time again. And part of what RFK takes issue with is the quality of these studies. He acknowledges that, of course, there are studies on these drugs. They have to get passed, but there is a conflict of interest because the majority of the funding from the FDA is procured through the companies seeking approval with their drugs. It's not how it's always been. For a long time, the FDA was majority funded by tax dollars, but now they get majority of their money through the companies that are seeking funding. So that is a conflict of interest. And when you hear these stories, like the guy that went on, God, I don't know if I'm mixing up podcasts now, but I think it was about the statin drugs, that he was explaining these studies with the statin drugs. I think this is cholesterol drugs. They like to put you on fucking statins, and these drugs that went through, well, at least one of the drugs that he was talking about, I don't remember exactly, but he was explaining how with the studies that they did, the studies guys, what they did is they had all these people in the study, and if they had they started out with a certain amount of people, and then at a certain point, people were dropped out of the study. They dropped out. And when the people would drop out of the study, they would just remove them as if they were never a part of it. But they were, this guy was explaining, or I believe he was a doctor, was explaining that the reason these people were dropping out is because they were having bad side effects, which is logical, right? I mean, if you fucking volunteered, or maybe you are getting paid a little bit, but whatever the case is, you decided to take part in a study for some new drug, and then within a week of taking it, you feel like dog shit, or you have some terrible reaction, that your primary care doctor is like, stop taking that. You're a part of you're a part of what? Yeah, stop taking that. Your fucking foot is swollen, or what, I don't know. But so yeah, there's a bunch of, in theory, a bunch of side effects that did not get, filtered down into the data that we receive, because these people drop out of the studies. And then the people running the study go, oh, well, okay, they're not a part of it. They're not a part of the data.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that
this is your brain when you're struggling to focus, and this is your brain when you're in the zone. But
Kennedy's as fine a choice as anybody. It's not like these positions have been filled by people in the past who are incredible at them, not even on the progressive side, often moving.
Grando Reaper, thanks for joining us. Destiny makes a fool of this man. We'll wait and see. Dark Match Jeans in here. Why are liberals always these low test guys? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Might not actually be low test. It's high estrogen, maybe. I don't know.
Into trans issues, trans healthcare, which was a big loser for progressives. I think ultimately, I don't see any problem with this guy getting in there. I don't think he's going to do anything harmful, and I don't really see any problem with him moving into these various agencies and trying to do various reforms. I don't even actually see why progressives would be upset by that. So Destiny might say, well, there's things that he says that are already being done, so he's going to go in and be somewhat redundant. But it's like, if you already like those systems and he's already going into the systems, I don't even see why that would be a problem.
Right. I mean, and Destiny, what I would say is that it always strikes me, if you ever see pictures from, say, Times Square or Trafalgar Square in London or Sydney or whatever it may be from the 20s, right? What's the one thing we all notice immediately if you think about it? There's no fat people.
Black and white?
Well, there's no fat people, right? They just didn't seem to exist. Literally, they barely existed because people were far more mobile. They had far better diets to a large degree, and none of the processed crap had come into to ruin their lives. None of the sort of television, internet stuff, which makes people sit around all day. So very different way of living. And it really strikes me, if you look at those pictures today to then, the world, particularly in the sort of developed world, like America, like large swathes of Europe, we've just got very fat and unhealthy. And if all that he achieves in his term as health secretary is getting Americans to really think about that more, wouldn't that be a good thing?
I mean, I feel like he can luck his way into a couple of okay positions, but the problem is going to be what the focus is. And the problem is that the focus in some ways, I think, is kind of contrary to whatever MAGA believes in, although it's hard to know at any point in time what MAGA believes in. But for instance, I think that probably the number one thing that you could do to increase the overall health of Americans would be to bring down our average weight. And the best way to do that probably would be to find ways to restrict the ultra processed foods, the stuff that's like super high in sugar, whether that's through additional labeling or whether that's through taxes on ultra processed food or sugar. Either of those, I think, would be tremendously in a good direction. However, both of those things are an increase in taxes and an increase in bureaucracy. I don't know if MAGA is in favor of either of those things. If that was the sole focus of RFK, I would be more okay with it. But it's like this obsession with like the fluoride in the water and red dye number 3.
Dude, I get this. I don't want more. I ideally want more government intervention in, any part of my life. Just like that's like the last thing I think of wanting, desiring is, oh, I want more government. But the problem is you have labels on fucking cigarette packs because they give you fucking cancer and they supposedly have the data for this and they know it, and it's, and they have to say nicotine's in here. Nicotine is an addictive chemical and da 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 da. And it's like everybody's okay with that. And then you start saying, hey guys, did you know there's addictive bullshit in the food? The MSG that's in the food that makes you not realize that you're full, so you buy more and eat more. Yeah, it sounds really similar to nicotine, doesn't it, guys? And you have to label cigarettes and fucking nicotine gum because it's addictive. But no, they give this pass to food. And that's part of the thing too, is at least when you go to smoke a cigarette, you're not thinking it's a healthy choice. However, when you go to the grocery store and you're walking down every aisle picking out what you and your fucking kids want, you are under the impression that you are buying food, something that has nourishment and will fill your fucking belly and doesn't taste like dog shit. Instead, what happens is you're going down the aisles and there's basically packs of cigarettes on the shelves. And then you go, hey, maybe we should label these packs of cigarettes because it has a bunch of sugar. They have these artificial flavorings. Remember, guys, we watched 60 Minutes on here when they broke down these artificial and natural flavorings that are in everything. Do you guys know how hard it is? That's one of the main things that I avoid. Number one, I buy mostly organic food, but I also avoid the false flavorings. Even with my nicotine toothpicks, I get the flavorless kind, okay? Because I don't want something extra addictive. I don't want some fucking, as we went over, these flavors are like, they have these companies and people have intellectual property to where they don't have to disclose exactly what chemical it is. They just say natural flavor or whatever. So this shit is in all the fucking food. And as they said on 60 Minutes, they design these flavors to increase craveability. Remember, they use that word. And the guy doing the documentary for 60 Minutes was like, basically, you guys are trafficking in addiction, right? And they're like, oh, well, we don't like to use that word. We call it craveability. So that's what we're dealing with when you go to the fucking store. Do I want the government to put in some new fucking rule that you have to have whatever else on the fucking package now? It's like, ideally, no, I don't want that. But when these companies are playing games, you're going to the store thinking that it's a grocery store, so it's all food. It's not like I'm getting tricked into putting something in my body that I don't but that's exactly what's happening. We're all getting tricked going to the store, bright packages and bullshit to just get you to fucking buy it and consume it and then come back and buy more. So anyway, this is where we're at. When you're considering, no, do I want more government? No, I don't. But sorry, these companies they're playing games.
And the heavy metal microplastics in our ball sacks and everything else. And these things are very like, they're worth looking at, but they're on the peripheral, they're on the edge.
What if he's right? I mean, the reason I say what if he's right is I remember
these things are on the edge, guys. Stuff that has a negative effect on the birth rate, which is already on the decline, it's trivial. It's all trivial, guys. People are turning trans and gay, and no one's having kids, and all of this stuff that affects the birth rate. It's just trivial.
Remember through COVID, for example, all sorts of definitive statements from doctors and scientists, which often turned out to be complete baloney. You know, what if he's actually right about this stuff?
He can be right. So first of all, most of the statements that were said by the people on the other side were completely and totally incorrect relating to COVID and vaccines. There were no mass deaths. There were no mass injuries, vaccine injuries. There were no microchips planted in us. There were no permanent vaccine passports. There still isn't any proof that it was created in a laboratory. Like all of those things that are not being correct. But insofar as him being right, I'm saying that like it might be the case that microplastics or red dye number, whatever, could be bad for us or could even be carcinogenic, maybe. But these are like 2%, 3% issues. Like 80% is if you could bring people's weight down on average by helping our diets, it would be so much more impactful. And I don't see how you do that without increasing the bureaucracy, because you have to be anti-capitalist a little bit. You've got to start taxing certain things. You've got to target certain types of foods in order to change people's food consumption habits.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, it's a fine line, isn't it, between being relentlessly...
I don't like the taxing thing. I don't like that idea that you're just going to make it more expensive. I think that's stupid. I think bare minimum, we should label this shit properly, because people don't know what they're actually putting in their body. Even though they put the ingredients on there, people don't fucking... You gonna stand there and Google every fucking thing when you go to the store? I have to do that sometimes. But the average person, you got kids throwing a fit in the cart, breaking open boxes of fucking cookies and shit. It's like, just label the stuff. Tell us it's addictive, and we'll pick and choose when and why to eat something. I like a cheat meal. I want to be able to have Oreos available, even though I haven't had one in like forever. You know, if you see me on a regular day eating a bag of Cheetos, you could probably bet that I'm about to off myself, because it's just like some stuff I'm not going to do. But I like the idea of having a cheat meal available. So we want informed consent. You buy the food, you should be informed as to what's in it.
Be critical of health institutions and accepted norms and science and so on, and getting to a place where, if you're not careful, public confidence in all of those bodies collapses, and then you start to have serious health issues.
Yeah, that's true. And this is part of the polarization in the United States. Destiny brings up this point. He says, well, these are kind of tangential issues, microplastics, things like this. The truth is, if we have states that have done restrictions on things like this, they've restricted sugars, they've restricted some processed foods. It does very little to mitigate the problem. I'm reminded of an article I read not too long ago about Japan, where the Japanese don't have the same epidemic when it comes to obesity that we have here. The gal who was there doing the article made a great point. She said she thought the kids there were trolling when they said their favorite food was broccoli, celery, things like this. But when it was investigated, it turns out they were taught that those are the good foods to eat and nothing else is the good food to eat. So in other words, there's national propaganda around the idea of health and things like this. Instead of moving towards restrictions like Destiny's proposing, I would move more towards national propaganda. But progressives are very wary about moving towards propaganda. I don't know why, even though now propaganda itself has a negative connotation. I'm just saying the word propaganda because people understand what it means, right? Like a national campaign or something like this could be very effective the same way they do it there. What's not effective, though, is restrictions. That doesn't seem to do very much. At least it has not so far.
I also think parental responsibility has got to be massively reinforced, just generally, right? It's all very well blaming.
That would be part of a national campaign, though. In order to do that,
no, I agree. But you do actually, like when I see some of the food that parents give their kids, not just in America, but we have it in the UK as well. We've got a massive obesity problem here, and it's like, where's the parental responsibility to stop shoving horrible?
Yeah, but then we have to look at other things progressives don't want to look at, like alternative family units, single motherhood, the intact family, things like this, which all feed into the idea of how kids are even nourished at home. Like these are all interconnected things, and it's not so fun then if you're running a national campaign to say, father should stay in the home. That's good for the family. That's good for the kids' nourishment. Things like this. You know what I mean? Suddenly, that's why they tend to steer away from that type of public discourse, at least at the governmental level, even though for the health of the nation, probably would be quite good.
So, Destiny, your sheer progressiveness is going to stop any solution being achieved.
I'm a deeply unpopular person with a variety of people. I have no problems talking about attacking a particular problem from a multitude of angles. I think that you can talk about what goes on in the household as well. However, I think that the culture, writ large and what's available is also a really challenging thing to deal with. If you've had a kid and that kid is going to school, the thing that makes that kid want something more than anything else isn't just something being available. It isn't just someone on the internet offering it. It's when other classmates have that thing. As soon as you start hearing, hey, Bob or Jane, their parents let them do that, or they have this thing at school. Well, now all of a sudden you're competing against all of the other kids in class. And then these types of pressures when your kid is outside of your supervision are almost impossible to overcome. One thing that is kind of irritating, I guess, is I feel like there was a big push to have kids eating healthier in schools a while ago, but everybody made fun of her for it. It was led by Michelle Obama when it came to making healthier foods in
she
schools
was
and
right.
high schools.
I agree.
Yeah, and it seems like Republicans litter up like crazy.
Yeah, but the lunches got worse, I think, right? Am I crazy, or didn't that happen? That the lunches got fucking actually retarded?
For that. And I don't know. I think that, we can talk about healthier food in the
I never made fun of Michelle Obama for wanting healthier food options. I don't know who did that. Not me.
Household. We can talk about healthier food at schools. Like I think that everybody should be on board with it, because things like obesity, being overweight, is one of the worst things that you can do for your health.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was out in Saudi Arabia a couple of weeks ago, and they've got a national campaign to get people out doing exercise 3 times a week. And they've got a very young population, like 70% are under 35. And it's been very popular, and as a result, more and more young people in Saudi are playing sport, for example, than were ever playing before. And that
we
is
also
a
have physical education standards here, Piers. We have physical education standards set down by the government here for years. And those were rolled back due to the idea of fat shaming, due to the idea of, my kids can't do this.
Which is all bullshit.
Et cetera.
I agree.
It's all bullshit. And the thing is like that's what I'm talking about when we're talking about national campaigns for this. We can bring in exercise standards. We can bring in enforcement mechanisms for those standards.
If you don't want someone to die from obesity, you are fat shaming.
My neighbor Brian was like,
holy shit, what happened?
Yo, where'd you get this knife? I'm like, Bespoke Postman.
Now, see, you talking about Bespoke all the time. Is it worth it?
Starting at a young age, Destiny makes a good point. It is valid that if you're in school and you're a kid and the other kids have donuts, you're probably going to want a donut. You don't want to eat your broccoli, right? But there's an aspect of social shame that happens with patriotism and aspects of social campaigns and culture that can be actually done from the top down that we see in other nations, including.
The lunches got extremely expensive and not realistic for school budgets. Oh yeah. Now we make fun of Michelle Obama for being a man. Yeah, that's the main that's the main meme against her. I don't remember making fun of her for school lunches. Stop, can't, stop, won't. It's better than hitting the Poogie. I want to agree with you, sir, but I don't know what you're talking about. But I like the sound of it. Thank you for joining the stream. Guys, new parody song dropped today. We're going to play it at least one more time at the end of the stream here. But yeah, new parody song about Kanye West. I got to get the video done. And it should be up hopefully by Friday, Saturday latest.
Including what you're talking about right now. Just something as basic as, okay, physical education. Now we're going to actually start taking it seriously. There's 2 hours of it a day instead of just the 30 or 40 minutes of you throw dodgeball at each other, right? I think that these are very valid things that we should look at.
Yeah, I agree. Let's turn to feminism. So Donald Trump has been lauded as the great new feminist of the United States. This comes from his executive order banning trans athletes in women's sport. Let's take a look at him, surrounded by grateful women and girls as he did this.
If you'd like to gather around me, I think I'm going to be okay. Come on. Come on.
I'm going to grab each one of you by the pussy.
Secret Service is worried about them. Do we have to worry?
Those kids could rip your fucking head off. You trust these little brats?
About them, we have big problems. Okay,
I don't think I've ever seen a finer feminist, Destiny.
I mean, this is like classic Republicans, like Donald Trump tweet.
Piers Morgan is just trolling Destiny this whole fucking time. Jesus. Adam Wiley. It's all good. We're going to play the parody song again, at least one more time. Oh, yeah. Poogie means bussy. Does it? I thought that's what that meant. Hit the Poogie.
Tweets out at 4 a.m. that he's going to make the sunshine, and then at 6 a.m. the sun comes up. Everybody worships him for it. I'm pretty sure, didn't the NCAA already roll back a lot of the trans participation in sports in the United States? And then I feel like we've already seen like the Olympic make moves against it. Like we've already seen like, I mean, in your country, in the United States, across the world, people have kind of like rolled back a little bit on a lot of the trans youth, especially the medication
yeah,
stuff.
but you said the
Like, I feel
phrase
like
there.
this is
When you
already-
say it's been a little bit, and it's been piecemeal, sport by sport, and age groups and so on. What Trump has done with one sweep of his pen is say no more of it at all. Right? There will be no more trans athletes in women's sport. Period. Now, I personally think this is absolutely the right thing to do. I think
that's fucking nuts. I can't believe he actually did that. That's fucking nuts. I don't know how I feel about it. I want to say it's a good thing, but I really feel like trans people in women's sports brought a lot of attention to the sports and got people talking about women's sports, and now everyone's going to forget again within like a year. They're going to forget that women's sports exists again.
Become the new doping, where people who have an unfair advantage have been, beating women, removing women from women's teams and say the Olympics and so on, actually beating up women, as we saw in the Paris Olympics, where somebody reportedly banned from the World Championships with male chromosomes literally beat up one female opponent so badly she quit after 40 seconds in the ring. So I do think this is a really important thing. Do you agree with it?
I don't think this is a very important thing. I don't even know if he can enforce this through executive order. Like, I don't know if there's going to be like some kind of Title IX challenge or whatever. I don't know what the courts are doing with this right now. I just don't think this is very relevant in the overall scheme of U.S. or world politics right now. I mean, people don't want women competing with trans women, especially at the college level and beyond. I don't really have a problem with that. I never really had a problem with that. I don't know if these two groups of people should be competing with each other. This is like a blip on the grand scale of things, I think.
You know what's interesting, Andrew? I've talked to quite a few on the left since the election. They've moved from the position before the election. I'm not saying Destiny was one of them. I can't remember, and you can clarify if you want, Destiny, but a lot of them are like, absolutely, trans women should be allowed to compete in women's sport, blah, 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 blah. And Biden and Kamala Harris supported this with actual policies endorsing it. And now the position is, you know what, nobody cares. It's a thing. I don't have a view. And I think it's because, to their shock and horror, the single most effective political ad of modern times turned out to be that trans ad that Trump did, ending with Kamala's for they, them, Donald Trump's for you, but also including this issue of women's sports and women's safety and the issue of putting, as we had in England, in Scotland, actually, a male rapist who suddenly identified as a woman who got put in a women's prison. It costs
Jesus Christ. I think I remember that story. Funny Face, what's up, bro? Thanks for joining us. We got a new parody just dropped tonight. I don't have a video yet, but a few people got here late, so we are going to be playing it again. We'll play it again at the end of the stream after this debate deal. They should be bringing up Kanye here in a minute. It was part of the yeah, here we go. Yeah, Kanye free speech. Okay, they get into it. Where'd it go? US guy. Elon Musk. Okay. Yeah, all right.
First Minister Scotland their job. I think it's a big issue, far bigger than Democrats want to admit.
The new parody song is about Kanye having anti-Semitic outbursts, in case I didn't make that clear as well.
And it's interesting, the narrative has changed from we're all in favor to actually it's just a small thing, we don't care about it.
Yeah, this has been a major setback for LGBTQ, period. The trans issue has been the entry gateway for the one of the most brutal attacks against the left in modern times. And all you really have to do is just ask basic logistical questions like, okay, which prisons do they go to? You know what I mean? We were past bathrooms. We were into prisons and can children get gender reassignment surgery, things like this. This has always been a very, very unpopular position for leftists, but they can't really back away from it because the T got attached to the LGB, right? So they could never really back away from it. They've had to kind of defend it tooth and nail. To Destiny's credit, he's always had a more nuanced position on this of I don't care, at least to my knowledge. But ultimately, this is not popular for them. It's never been.
No, yeah, Destiny, I think, I don't ever remember him saying that trans people should be flat out, should be allowed to compete. He was, I don't know. I've seen him debate stuff about this and consider different specific situations and stuff. I think from what I remember, God, I don't. It is. He's had a nuanced take on it. He gets. There's been different, highlighted cases of men or trans women in women's sports that he's debated about, and he's not so one-sided on it. I just remember that. I don't remember his positions in each of these conversations, but anyway,
been popular for them. When you're talking about what Trump is doing with the gender binary, I somewhat disagree. Not that he, the thing I agree with is that he proposed at a government top-down level. The United States only recognizes two genders. Now he means sexes, male and female, right? That's what he's alluding to there. But I do think it actually was very punishing for feminists to have fought all those years for their sports teams and then have men just go in and kick the holy shit out of them, right? So that actually mobilized, Well, but I mean, it mobilized a lot of those feminists to move away from the left because they were like, wait a second, this actually wasn't the liberation we signed up for, right? We spent all this time fighting for this, and now you can just basically put on a wig and go break all of our records. I mean, it's just a huge loser for the left. And
I agree. Desi, I want to read you a quote from Andrew Wilson. He posted this week. The most disappointing thing about feminists is how made out of glass they are. With the slightest pushback, they break. They demand equality until you talk to them like you would a man. It's actually comical. Would you concur with him?
I mean, that's everybody in politics. I mean, everybody's a snowflake depending on what the issue you're talking about is. I don't think that it's ever been a huge issue on most of the left when it comes to trans stuff. I think there's a vocal minority on Twitter and in colleges that scream about it. I think it seems like it's a huge issue because Republicans wanted it to be a huge issue. Even that commercial you were talking about was quoting something that Kamala said in 2019. So it seemed like some huge, ever-present issue. But I don't know. I guess I'm looking more towards like domestic policy, like things related to immigration or healthcare or what's happening right now in our executive branch or foreign policy. Like I thought the war in Ukraine was supposed to end on day one. I didn't know that we were signing up to be owners of Greenland and the Gaza Strip and the Panama Canal. These things I think are more important, at least to me, but I don't know, maybe some people are really powered by what Republicans think.
I don't know, I got a 13-year-old daughter, and I got to say, if I was living in America, she was born there actually, but if I was living in America with a 13-year-old daughter who likes sport, I would be very exercised about this, and particularly if she had to share changing rooms with biological men who said, I'm now a woman.
Yeah, I think I'd be more worried about my daughter like dying in Texas, like trying to get a medical procedure done because I'm pretty sure there've been 3 deaths now so far in Texas of young women that are pregnant that can't have medical procedures done because the doctors have to be so careful when they're doing them that they can't accidentally abort a fetus because then they'll be held liable for crime. So I think these are things I'd be worried about more than trans athletes, which are
more than a woman potentially being killed in a boxing ring by a trans athlete.
How many times has this happened?
Well, it hasn't yet, but it will do if it carries on.
Exactly, but it already has happened with the abortion. So that's what I'm more worried about.
Yeah, but children's gender reassignment surgery, that is something which has been on the table for a long time. That's one. And two, when you're talking about this issue, it's kind of revisionist history, right? Now suddenly the Democrats don't care, right? Oh, we so it was always a vocal minority. No, it really wasn't. These were very, very public fights going on at the national level, and the reason is because this was a moral question. We're talking about a moral question.
Red Baron.
I'll pause it. I was going to just keep going, but I'm surprised. Maybe he will bring it up, but I'm surprised Andrew Wilson didn't take the position. I mean, Destiny does have a good point with that the new laws or whatever that these doctors are afraid of getting busted for injuring or killing a fetus in some procedure or whatever. Apparently there's been some deaths related to that. The new laws that I'm not aware of this. I'll look it up, I guess. But I'm surprised Andrew Wilson didn't come back with the response and I can he may say it, but how many the two deaths associated with the new laws versus how many lives you saved by, getting some women to consider keeping the baby or at least birthing the child, whether they put it up for adoption or whatever, how many lives you possibly saved. But, we'll see.
Dish. It says single, but we're going to share it. Are we being bad?
From the viewpoint of the Christian right, which most right-wingers are Christians, you're actually assaulting their religion. You're assaulting their idea of what moral grounding even is. So to them, it's a huge deal. For Destiny, who has a completely different moral prism, it's really not a big deal, right? He doesn't really care about it. It's not that important. But to the average person, at least to the average right-wing conservative who's a Christian, it's a huge deal. The assault of the moral foundation is something they're going to take issue with. It's going to be one of their top priorities. So to say that Democrats were not fighting tooth and nail on behalf of trans inclusiveness, including in sports and everything. It's just insane revisionism. Of course,
Yeah, they absolutely will. I mean, I look at someone like J.K. Rowling, who got absolutely, destroyed by the woke brigade for standing up for women's rights to fairness and equality. Now everyone lauds her for her heroic stance, but at the time, most women put their head understandably, put their head under the vicious parapet and didn't want to engage, and that left people like her out on their own, getting completely killed by people who profess to be the Be Kind lobby. And talking of which, I wanted to play you this, Destiny, because it really annoyed me. Not because it's a comedian making a joke, that's absolutely fine, nor...
Okay, so let me screen share. We can take a quick look at this. But, I want to be thorough here. It's something I hadn't heard of, so let's bring it up. So this is what he's referring to. The Texas Tribune, a third woman has died under Texas's abortion ban as doctors reach for riskier miscarriage treatments. And actually, let me go back. This is actually what popped. Look at well, this isn't the AI. This is just straight from Google. A dramatic rise in pregnant women dying in Texas after abortion ban. Exclusive analysis finds the rate of maternal deaths in Texas increased 56% from 2019 to 2022, compared with just 11% nationwide during the same time period. Portia, not going to try to pronounce that name, bled to death as she was miscarrying after her doctor opted against an emergency procedure used to end pregnancies. What the fuck? Why does this lady look familiar? Is this a crisis actor? Here, let me blow it up for you guys. Okay. Where were we? Wrapping his wife in a blanket as she mourned the loss of her pregnancy at 11 weeks, Hope Numezi, I guess. Numezi wondered why no obstetrician was coming to see her. Over the course of 6 hours on June 11th, 2023, Portia Numezi had bled so much in the emergency department at Houston Methodist Sugar Land that she needed 2 transfusions. She was anxious to get home to her young sons, but according to the nurse's notes, she was still passing large clots the size of grapefruit. Jesus Christ. Hope dialed his mother, former physician, who was unequivocal. You need a D&C, she told them, referring to a dilation and curettage, a common procedure for first trimester miscarriages and abortions. If a doctor could remove the remaining tissue from her uterus, the bleeding would end. But when Dr. Andrew Ryan Davis, the obstetrician on duty, finally arrived, he said it was the hospital's routine to give a drug called misoprostol to help the body pass the tissue, Hope recalled. Hope trusted the doctor. Big mistake. Portia took the pills, according to the records, and the bleeding continued. 3 hours later, her heart stopped. 35-year-old's death was preventable, according to more than a dozen doctors who reviewed a detailed summary of her case for ProPublica. Some said it raises serious questions about how abortion bans are pressuring doctors, to diverge from the standard of care and reach for less effective options that could expose their patients to more risks. Doctors and patients describe similar decisions they've witnessed across the state. So, I mean, yeah, it sounds like something needs to be done. Ideally, so this is the thing, I guess. I mean, if you're going to have an abortion ban as strict as Texas seems to have, I think we need to be really clear with these doctors as to, I mean, now that we know that this is a problem, it needs to be addressed, and maybe there is some standard that they can set that when you have certain symptoms that the mother is experiencing, whether it's serious bleeding like this, I mean, I don't see how it's kind of sloppy that this is, you don't have clear cases where it's excusable that the standard for that, that the doctors can go by. If the woman is fucking bleeding out and you've given her 10 blood transfusions and she's basically just, you're putting it into her arm, giving her blood, and she's bleeding it right onto the fucking floor, it's time for an abortion. It was clear Portia needed an emergency D&C. The medical expert said she was hemorrhaging, and the doctors knew she had a blood clotting disorder, which put her at greater danger of excessive and prolonged bleeding. Misoprostol at 11 weeks is not going to work fast enough, said Dr. Amber Trueheart, an OBGYN at the University of New Mexico Center for Reproductive Health. The patient will continue to bleed and have a higher risk of going into hemorrhagic shock. Hemorrhagic shock. The medical examiner found the cause of death to be hemorrhage. D&C is a staple of maternal health care, can be life-saving. Doctors insert a straw-like tube into the uterus and gently suction out any remaining pregnancy tissue. Once the uterus is emptied, it can close, usually stopping the bleeding. That's really funny. Well, not funny, but I always heard it was vacuum that they suck it out. Remember South Park? This is probably getting too dark here, but they're like the one episode, Mr. Garrison, right? I think he is trans. He says he's a woman or something, the teacher. And then he goes for an abortion. He says he's pregnant and doesn't want to have the baby, but he's not pregnant. He's fine. And they go in there and he's just like, I want you to scramble its brains and suck it out of there. Oh, fuck. I didn't know how true that was. Okay. Let me get some water. Rubio. Every time you awkwardly, desperately reach for water, you got to go, Rubio. But because D&Cs are also used to end pregnancies, the procedure has become tangled up in state legislation that restricts abortions. In Texas, any doctor who violates the strict laws risks up to 99 years in prison. Sorry, bitch, you gotta die. I ain't going to prison. Portia's is the fifth case. ProPublica has reported in which women died after they did not receive a D&C or its second trimester equivalent, a dilation and evacuation. 3 of those deaths were in Texas, bitch. Texas doctors told ProPublica the law has changed the way their colleagues see the procedure. Some no longer consider it a first-line treatment, fearing legal repercussions or dissuaded by the extra legwork required to document the miscarriage and get hospital approval to carry out the D&C. Okay. Well, Jesus Christ. Okay, so it sounds like the way Destiny, are you guys still with me in the chat? Sorry if I'm getting too into the weeds here, but this is worth looking into, guys, because this is how you learn how people get their talking points and all of that shit. I don't know about you guys. I had not heard about this. And I was more than willing to say, okay, we need to do something and whatever, but can we just look at this again, what I just read? Because they kind of just, they slipped this in here real quickly after guilt tripping us this whole time. And here it says, let's read it again, and let me point out that it's not, it seems as though this paragraph here is clarifying that it's not that they can't do these procedures. It's that it's extra legwork too. That sounds like a doctor being a lazy piece of shit. If I can if I can be controversial here. Hot take, doctors being lazy. It says here, Texas doctors told ProPublica the law has changed the way their colleagues see the procedure. Some no longer consider it a first-line treatment, fearing legal repercussions. Okay, that's fair. Or Big or that there's first time they're slipping this in here that, oh yeah, they can do it, but da-da-da. Or dissuaded by the extra legwork required to document the miscarriage and get hospital approval to carry out the D&C. So this right here does not sound like this is the government's fault. Interesting. We're getting somewhere. Misoprostol, whatever the fuck it is, the medicine given to Portia is an effective method to complete low-risk miscarriages, but is not recommended when a patient is unstable. The drug is also part of a 2-pill regimen for abortions, yet administering it may draw less scrutiny than a D&C because it requires smaller medical team and because the drug is commonly used to induce labor and treat postpartum hemorrhage. Since 2022, some Texas women who were bleeding heavily while miscarrying have gone public about only receiving medication when they ask for D&Cs. One later passed out in a pool of her own blood. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I don't. This now I'm starting to. I mean, I'm not saying all doctors are lazy pieces of shit or something like that, but you know, it sounds like the doctor's whim is a factor in this. And this article is just kind of slipping it in here. Stigma and fear are there for D&Cs in a way that are not that. Sorry. In a way that they are not for misoprostol, the drug, said Dr. Allison Goulding, an OBGYN in Houston. Doctors assume that a D&C is not standard in Texas anymore. Even in cases where it should be recommended, people are afraid. They see D&C and abortion is illegal. So, yeah, we got some problems here. For how much longer is this fucking... Jesus Christ. Okay, we're not going to... We get it. Look at how much is left. We got to get back to the debate. All right, let's get back. Yeah, go read that. If y'all want to really fucking, if you want to go through that with a fine-tooth comb, you can. Go for it. But, yeah, I don't know. That gave me a little bit of perspective here. So, is that like the government's fault if the hospital, it's more legwork and the doctors just don't want to do it? Okay.
That I want her banned or cancelled or any of those things. Just about the blatant hypocrisy of what we're about to hear. This is Chelsea Handler talking about Melania Trump.
I am your DEI host, Chelsea Handler. It was a huge year for biopics, a complete unknown about Bob Dylan, about Maria Callas, and Honora about Melania Trump.
Now, Destiny, what she's doing there is calling the First Lady a hooker, okay? She's perfectly entitled to say that. But she would never have done that joke, and nor would any comedian have ever done that joke about a Democrat First Lady at an award ceremony. Ever. So my question is...
Piers Morgan is probably right about that. I think he's right, but if I would have only known the movie, I probably would have popped at that. It's kind of funny. It's a movie about a prostitute, and they said it's about Melania Trump. That's kind of funny. That's fair.
Are the Democrats, again, is it one rule for them, one rule for everybody else? And before you do the Republicans do other stuff, I know they do. And it just seems to me she would never have done that. And nor would any comedian if it was a Democrat First Lady.
I so don't care. I mean, like, what is the question? Was the joke too mean, or would she not have done it towards a Democrat? She probably wouldn't have done it towards a Democrat because those types of people all tend to lean left. That'd be my guess, right? The same way that if it was any right-leaning comedians, they're probably not going to go super hard on anybody on the right. I mean, that seems pretty obvious.
Thank you, fucking wow, good find. Dark Match Gene, thank you. Thank you guys for the support. Everybody's still chilling with me. We'll play the parody one more time before we get out of here. You heading out, Tina? Thank you for joining us on the stream tonight. Thank you all for hitting the like button and stuff. Everybody, I see people on the Facebook hitting the like and stuff. I appreciate that. Wherever you're at, just fucking click buttons for me, please.
You're asking if it's a mean joke. I mean, yeah, it's a mean joke, but lots of people tell mean jokes. I don't know what kind of...
No, it's not about the mean joke. Well, I think it's not really a joke. It's just calling the First Lady a hooker.
It is a joke. Come on, Piers. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. Everybody say goodnight to Tina.
Just vile.
Okay, the majority of I hear a ton of conservatives right now that say that Michelle Obama and the wife of the French Macron are trans. Like I'm pretty sure that's Candace Owens. She said I would stake my entire career on Macron's wife being trans.
That's not a ton of conservatives.
Sure,
That's not a ton of
I see a lot of
conservatives.
jokes about the Michelle Obama stuff being trans, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, the Michelle Obama dick jokes are very old and have been going on for a long time, right? I've seen those. You've seen those, and some of them are kind of funny. But the point is that with Chelsea Handler here, they're one of the most promiscuous women in Hollywood. Calling someone else a hooker is,
right?
By the way, hilarious. And also, you're talking about an entire party who is pro-sex work, pro-sex worker, pro-prostitution, pro-OnlyFans, does everything it can possibly do in order to enable those things.
So it was a compliment.
And then at the same time, they're like, "Oh, I can't believe the first lady's a hooker." It's like, if it was anybody else who wasn't a Republican, they would probably glorify it. They'd be like, "Finally, our first prostitute first lady." Like, I don't even understand why. The depths of the hypocrisy here is actually kind of outrageous, right?
Yeah, I completely agree.
Well, I think the joke has more to do with pointing out, I think, the hypocrisy on the other side. For instance, if you make a joke about, like, I don't know if we're allowed, like for Steven Crowder being gay, that's a common joke that people on the left make. I don't think the joke is, haha, you're gay, so that's bad. I think the joke is more, you hate this thing and you are this thing, which would, my guess is going to be, I didn't see her whole performance. I don't even know the movie reference she was making, but that's probably the joke, is that you guys hate prostitutes and you are a prostitute. You hate gay people, you are gay.
No, that wasn't the joke. That wasn't the joke. She was just basically calling Melania Trump a hooker because she wants to imply she's actually a hooker. And I think that the point I'm making is not that she's not entitled to do what I think was a crap joke. Of course she's a comedian. It's the fact that you would never ever see at an award ceremony in America, I can ever remember, any comedian, right or left, make that kind of remark about a Democrat first lady, a current first lady from a state.
Who gives a fuck, Piers? Gloves off. You know what? It's all fair game. We're making jokes here. I can do a Kanye parody song. You guys can call Melania Trump a prostitute, and we all can laugh and go home happy, okay? Everybody fucking shut up.
Stage televised at an award show. That's a distinction.
I haven't seen every award show, but like, didn't Stephen Fry do a couple of really brutal award shows where he was like throwing it out to almost everybody? Am I making this up, dude?
Well, he's English.
Okay. All right.
Let's move on.
I guess you guys get away with that. Huh?
No, I don't think that. I just don't think any of them have ever called a first lady a hooker. It just seemed to me, I don't know. It's all about crossing a line in comedy and all that. If you did down the Comedy Store, you can do what you like. If you're on Twitter or X now, if you want to do things, okay, fine. I'm not going to say you should be canceled.
Well, I thought we learned when that guy made the island of floating trash Puerto Rico joke. I thought we learned there were no lines anymore. Why are we crying about
Tony Hinchcliffe? That's our guy.
Her making this joke?
Well,
now?
no, because the left went completely nuts. They thought he did cross a line.
Well, now we've learned.
They did go crazy about it.
Now you can just joke about anything, I guess, right? Since we're all in that.
Well, you should be a joke about everything.
Yeah, sure. I mean, but we can also joke about her being one of the most promiscuous women in Hollywood, and that she's speaking out of both sides of her mouth here because she's been a big time supporter of sex workers, and now suddenly,
I think that's a really good point.
She's a hooker. It's like, what are you talking about?
That's a very good point that she used it as a slur, having professed to be the complete opposite about sex workers. Very good point. Talking of stinking hypocrites and vile people, let's come to Kanye West, who started the week parading his wife, Bianca Censori, naked.
Here we go, guys.
On the Grammys red carpet. We're looking at these images now. It was a deliberate derobing, whatever. I mean, obviously any woman can do that. I thought it was all a bit cheap and embarrassing and pathetic, and I certainly wouldn't want to be doing that with my wife on a red carpet. What was far more serious to me was what then followed, which was literally just a bombardment of horrifically anti-Semitic, racist comments, and then some pornography that he began flying out. One of his posts, sometimes you have to do it like the pharaohs, make your Jews work for you, but watch them as close as you can, whip your Jews. What was interesting to me,
probably the most common question.
Jesus Christ.
Question that I'm asked as a professor at Hillsdale is, what happened to my country? You know, when they
Destiny was ultimately Elon Musk. I messaged him directly on X publicly and said, just keep letting this guy do it. He's breaking every single rule that X has about this kind of stuff. So the normal rules weren't applying to him, and he was doing it to 32 million people. So the free speech argument is one thing. Actually, the X in-house rule book is another that wasn't being applied. So it seemed to be one rule for him, one rule for everybody else. But secondly, it was clearly, in my opinion, when you start talking about making Jews your slaves and whip them, you are actually now committing a crime. You're inciting actual violence against a group of people. That is a crime. It's not protected by the First Amendment. But what was interesting was Elon Musk.
See, man, this is the thing where, for me, the lines get blurred, guys. Like I said, I mean, we brought up those Guar songs the other night. The first thing that just came to mind for me was the song "Kill the Poor." Do you guys know this song, Kill the Poor? Let me pull it up for you. Kill, 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 kill the poor. Jello Biafra. Dead Kennedys. Now, this is the thing. When it's Kanye West, somebody...
If efficiency in progress is ours once more.
Somebody who is an artist who expresses themselves, this is their niche, is using words in some creative way. Again, when I see some of the tweets that they highlight by Kanye West and stuff, in my head, I just go, oh, he's trolling. He's talking shit. Obviously, you don't expect to see Kanye West fans out in the streets of New York whipping Jewish people. Okay, you don't expect that to actually happen. And so I don't, if you can say that about Kanye West on Twitter, why not for fucking songs like this? And there's much worse shit in rap genre, different rap genres, I'm sure.
Now that we have the neutron bomb, it's nice and quick and clean and gets things done. Away with the sesame, but no less valued a property. The sense and war, but perfect sense at home.
Get to the goddamn chorus, Jello.
The sun beams down on a brand new day. No more welfare tax to pay. The Trumpet's gonna be flashing light. The countless millions whisked away. At last we have more room to play. Our systems go and kill the poor tonight. Gotta kill the poor. Kill the poor. Kill the poor tonight.
Okay, that's it. Let's get back to the debate. You get what I'm saying. You can rationalize banning any fucking kind of art if you apply a standard to it that, like it's a literal thing. You're judging everything on face value. Now, again, I'm not saying I think Kanye West's tweets are art, but I'm sure he thinks that. That's the problem.
Only intervened and shut down the account for the NSFW pornography, which was completely legal. So,
and I don't know why, guys, we looked this up. Why does Piers keep saying this? This came up in that other debate with fucking Rabbi Shmuley. They keep saying Elon Musk shut it down, and we fucking looked this up on stream that Kanye West deactivated his own Twitter. It had nothing to do with he posted the porn stuff and then deactivated his page.
Inciting people to violence against Jewish people was not considered to cross a line, but actually posting legal pornography was. I thought
that's the thing. Piers is using this as an angle. That's what it is. He's being like, oh, you see the porn, those images, what he was posting, it was hardcore porn. They were doing butt stuff. And, that was so offensive that they shut his Twitter account down. But they let him say he loved Hitler.
That was an interesting contradiction. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like Kanye West to me, it seems pretty sad because I feel like it's pretty obvious he has mental issues relating to what is he bipolar or whatever. So I don't know if he has these manic phases where he just starts going crazy. And I don't know if he either surrounds himself with yes men and fires everybody else, or if there's just a bunch of people like the Candaces in the world who are just around him to take advantage of him. But I mean, clearly he has these mentally unhinged moments. I'm sure him being as famous and as wealthy and as successful as he is probably doesn't help with that mania. As for rule enforcement on X, I mean, there's a million things that could be said about that. People have had a lot of complaints about Elon coming on. Obviously, a lot of people from the left, you feel like the platform has gotten a lot more hateful people. A lot of people have said that the platform's got a lot more spammy. There's a lot more bot activity and everything. Some people on the right over the H-1B fiasco were upset that Elon's going to be banning people who previously would have been okay because of their political / racial stances, I guess, or whatever. So yeah, it seems like Elon's been having a little bit of trouble getting a handle on how he exactly wants to present X's moderation to the world.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, I interviewed Kanye West a year and a half ago, and he denied having any mental illness, certainly denied having any treatment for any mental illness. And a lot of Jewish people in particular think it's just an excuse, that he just actually is a massive attention seeker. It was the Grammys. He's no longer a kind of, superstar rapper in people's eyes. He's just become this pretty unpleasant troll. And that he was doing all this to suck attention away from the Super Bowl, from the Grammys, and so on. What do you think? Where's the truth about Kanye West, do you think?
I'm not sure, DMS. What do you mean? What was I saying? I know I've been ranting. What about Kanye West tweets? Oh, about why they keep saying he got deleted. We looked this up. I don't fucking know. Piers Morgan. I hear other people say it too, but I guess people don't know. They just didn't even look into it, and everybody just keeps repeating it and not looking it up. I guess I don't know.
I mean, he's done this before. I mean, he had a meme presidential campaign, right?
Yeah.
A total meme. Ultimately, some people took it seriously. Most people in the mainstream most certainly did not take it seriously. And yes, it's attention-seeking behavior. Stripping. First of all, this is not the first time this has happened. Remember that his wife also was in controversy because she had a cross on her buttocks, her naked buttocks, and then now she is at the Grammys, and what happens? He literally takes her clothes off, disrobes her, humiliating, by the way, absolutely humiliating. I felt ashamed on her behalf. I hate saying that, right? But I just couldn't believe it, right? The disrespect towards your wife, that's to me in many ways unconscionable. When it comes to the X thing, though, the freedom of speech, what we're talking about here is this line in freedom of speech, which you're right. Elon Musk has not figured this out yet because it's not really possible to figure out. Is it okay? And this is what Kanye West is trying to say. Is it okay to post as much swastikas and I heart Hitlers and everything else on this as I want? And if it's not, why isn't it?
Yeah.
Why can't I?
I agree.
I thought this was about freedom of speech.
He's
pushing the number, and that drives attention to that account. And in many ways, it could have been a tactical move by Musk to say, well, maybe taking that down is not going to look good on me. And so when the time came when porn came up, he pushed it a little further, right? Okay, they're not banning my account. He's actually letting this go. How do we push the number a little bit further? Then he moves over to, okay, let's post hardcore porn. And then
guys, there's so much porn on Twitter. This is not even it's so weird that people are focusing on this. And let's look this up. Hold on. We already looked this up. I'm wasting my time. I forget what article we read before. Okay. It's this one. Why Elon Musk deleted Kanye West's account on X after he thanked him. And this is the funny thing, because the article that we looked at before, I feel like had a title that also implied it got deleted, but then it said he deactivated his own account. So, platform unfiltered thoughts leading to widespread criticism. He posts a series of controversial statements, including anti-Semitic misogyny and racist remarks. Kanye West's recent behavior on social media has raised concern among his fans and general public. The 47-year-old rapper's antics began on the Grammys red carpet, where he requested that his wife Bianca move for West boasting his wife's Google search numbers surpassed those related to Grammy Awards, and indicating the significant impact of her presence. However, West's online activity took a turn for the worse. West's X account became a platform from his unfiltered thoughts, leading to widespread criticism. He posted a series of controversial statements, including anti-Semitic stuff. Rapper declared himself a Nazi, insulted Jews, asked for Sean P. Diddy to be released from prison, even put up clothes, promoted Nazis up for sale on his official site. He also criticized overweight women and posted porn on his X account. All right, so called for West to be suspended. It says here, Piers Morgan calls for him to be suspended. Elon stopped following me, so I didn't know how much longer I'll be on X. If I'm deleted, go to, he put it on in his official merchandise page. He also wrote, I'm logging out of Twitter. I appreciate Elon for allowing me to vent. It has been very cathartic to use the world as a sounding board. It was like an ayahuasca trip. Love all of you who gave me your energy and attention. Till we connect again. Good afternoon and good night. Following the rant about Taylor Swift during the Super Bowl, West's account was deleted. Before deactivating his account, West expressed so he deactivated it. It says here, following the rant, Taylor Swift, the Super Bowl, West's account was deleted. Before deactivating his account, West expressed gratitude to Elon Musk for allowing him to vent. And so before deactivating his account, West expressed gratitude to Elon. So that is written as if he deactivated his own account. Yeah, and then it even clarifies here. Musk later confirmed. So people, dude, everyone is repeating bullshit. That is crazy. That is so interesting, guys. We just looked it up again. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. But that is nuts. Jack Mahogoff, thanks for joining us. Yeah, Gene Lasker and the his. I don't think it's the real Gene Lasker, but I don't care. Love you, Thera. Okay, let's bring this back up. Let's get through the rest of this debate. I got to be off by anyway.
And finally, Elon Musk says, okay, enough. I tried to do the best I can. So he's trying to find, Musk is trying to find this line. Kanye is purposely pushing the line so that he can test the limits of Musk and this free speech on X and try to point out hypocrisy, this kind of thing. But yes, I agree. It's for attention in a big way. I don't think anybody would disagree with that, even his supporters.
Yeah. Let's turn to the Trump-Elon Oval Office presser. We've got a solid of this.
Some of the things that I say will be incorrect and should be corrected. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. I mean, we will make mistakes, but we'll act quickly to correct any mistakes. I'm not sure we should be sending $50 million worth of condoms anywhere, frankly. I'm not sure that's something Americans would be really excited about. That is really an enormous number of condoms, if you think about it.
Destiny, what did you make of that? Obviously, it's very unusual. You've got the richest man in America standing next to the President of the United States in the Oval Office by the Resolute desk. He's got his kid with him who's picking his nose. It's all a bit random and weird and surreal. However, I did watch it all, and I kept thinking to myself, if I was an average American watching this, hearing what Elon Musk is doing to federal overspending, I'd be cheering him on. I'd be all in favor of this.
Yeah, unfortunately, the average American, I guess, or the average person has no idea how government works or functions. And I guess weird and surreal is just the way to describe now, or illegal, I guess, is the way to describe that this administration has decided to address programs that they don't like. If you want to cut down on waste, fraud, and abuse, I don't think anybody would necessarily have a problem with it. But they keep saying waste, fraud, and abuse when what they mean is programs that I don't like. And they've already taken several almost certainly illegal actions in trying to basically unilaterally dismantle organizations.
Circumcisions for, Uganda. This is, it's not that that's a waste of our tax dollars. It's just not something that Trump likes. Yeah, did you guys hear? Supposedly I keep seeing this floating around on Twitter. They're considering giving $5,000 to every American because of the money they're saving. That's the word on the street. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying I heard it.
Like USA that have been independently authorized by Congress that the president doesn't have the ability to do to dismantle unilaterally. And now you've seen TROs coming out from the judiciary that's telling him, hey, you have to stop. There was the one in the federal spending freeze that not only was a TRO issued telling him that you have to stop freezing these funds. Now another judge has said you are violating the TRO. You need to stop this immediately. So I guess if you don't care about the legality or the process and procedure or anything having to do with the structure of government, I guess it's a cool thing. But if you care about following the law or the rules or maintaining your government, then it would probably be a horrific thing. But
Andrew?
Yeah, you got this idea. I've heard Destiny kind of talk about this before. Yeah, when he's saying, okay, these are illegal actions, and possibly the court's not going to be able to catch up with these illegal actions, and so Trump is just going to basically continue with what he's considering to be illegal actions. Thing is people forget about.
Hey, you're not actually allowed to drink in a beer commercial? Since when?
Things like jury nullification, or the idea that you can have laws, and even if you're the enforcer of the laws, in this case the executive branch, you don't actually have to enforce these things. There's you're put there for a reason, just like a jury can nullify law by saying, even though the law says you're guilty, I can still come back with a not guilty verdict. What's happening here is we don't even know what the waste, fraud, and abuse is. And so there's an audit going on, and this is exactly what Musk is doing. They're trying to audit this and get it in front of the attention of the American people to say, look, we don't want condoms for the Taliban. That was 15 million. Promotion of atheism in Nepal for 500,000. French LGBTQ programs in West and Central Africa for $1 million, right? I mean, the list goes on and on and on. $200 million, 20 days in. I think that the American people do deserve to know that. And I don't think that they would, that this would be front and center or a thing we would be focusing on absent this audit. And I think that more of these government agencies should be audited. Now, Destiny can get, he can say, well, technically, due to the rule of law, we have judges who are making these impositions and this and that. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but that's all part of the process too. It's all part of the process of law. The process of law is playing out exactly like it should. Judges are supposed to create injunctions if something illegal is going on, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing wrong, though, with auditing these places. And for the spirit of transparency, I think that leftists are just pissed for no good reason. Like they go, oh, Musk is collecting all these people's information. It's like unelected officials at the DMV are collecting my information. Unelected officials at the Social Security office are collecting my information. Like so many government offices collect my information by people who I definitely didn't elect, and neither did Destiny. They're totally fine with that. But for some reason with these guys, no, that's too much.
That's a good point.
I mean, the reason,
that's a good point.
The reason why is because these things have been authorized by law. There's a process and procedure there. The Social Security Administration was created by Congress. There's a process and procedure by which they collect data, and they have a process and procedure by which they store data and who's allowed to access it. Elon Musk is definitionally an unelected bureaucrat who is now part of a shadow government who is going from agency to agency, cutting whatever he decides is necessary. In terms of there being transparency, all of this stuff was already publicly available. They've literally shuttered the USAID offices. What do you mean? They've literally shuttered them from the Treasury.
Yeah,
shuttered them, and they tried to get a mass recall saying all the employees needed to come home, which was stopped by a TRO, by a judge. And now a lot of these programs, there was just recently a report by the head of the Treasury guy who now is fired, who was saying that there's a whole bunch of food and stuff that we ship to other countries. It's just going to spoil because now we've cut off funding and money for it. All of these things have just been unilaterally cut by Elon Musk and Trump without any authorization from Congress, despite the fact that Congress was the one that authorized the funds for these programs and authorized these offices and agencies. If you want to remove all of these things, that's fine. If you don't want $500,000 being spent for trans ballets in Nepal for atheists or whatever, that's fine. If you don't want it, then Congress has to defund it. That's the way that this process works. It's not up to the president unilaterally to decide what he likes or doesn't like. That's already been
hang on.
Congress.
Well, hang on.
That's not up to you.
That's actually, I was going to say, look, that's not actually correct. He's entitled to do this, and then there can be
absolutely
legal.
Not.
Hang on. Then there can be legal challenges, and Trump made it clear in the Oval Office yesterday he would accept what a judge said. Now, by contrast, I remember Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez when it came to the Texas ruling in a court by a judge about abortion medication, for example. She said that the Democrats should not accept what that judge had ruled. Right, so why is it one rule? Why is it one rule for Democrats that they can ignore a judge's order with impunity? But when President Trump says, if you want to challenge this, no problem, I would accept the ruling of the judge. Isn't that democracy?
What years was AOC the president of the United States?
What difference does that make?
What does that have to do with anything?
She's not in the position to do these things. She can give the advice on it. If you want me to ask myself, like
she's an elected lawmaker who doesn't want to obey the law.
A lawmaker. She's in a different branch of government. She's part of the legislature. We're not talking about the legislature. We're not talking about a random lawmaker right now. We're talking about the president of the United States doing things to intentionally contravene. You can't just say you can break the law.
President Biden did the same over student loans.
No, he absolutely didn't. When the Supreme Court shut him down in one thing, then he took a different avenue. It was not the same. President Biden did not ignore temporary restraining orders. It wasn't issuing TROs to stop what he was doing with the loan forgiveness. It's a totally different thing.
Yeah,
it's not the same. It's not the same process.
Hang on, Destiny.
Vance and other people have said over and over. I'm so funny, Piers. Vance and others have made it clear over and over again. They've quoted the Andrew Jackson quote, and they've said, well, we should just resist the judiciary. It is not part of law and order. It's not part of checks and balances for the executive to say, well, I don't care what a judge says. We'll just do whatever, which is what they're currently doing. And a judge has already said they've done with the TRO that was placed on them, having to do with freezing federal funding. So they've already broken with what the judges are telling them to some extent. And at the end of the day, there's no way to check and balance the executive. They're just going to do what they want to do. You have no checks and balances there. Where are men in robes and lawmakers going to walk down and fight with the U.S. Marshals and the FBI? Like, it's not going to happen.
Andrew?
Yeah, right. Exactly. So there's an issue. What you have is an issue of authority. So Trump he's trying to expand the limits of his office as fast as possible, and I understand why. Last time he was there, they were trying to impeach him from basically day one, made up this phony Russian collusion nonsense. He comes in now, he has nothing to lose. He's going to expand his office as quickly as possible, try to move things as quickly as he possibly can, and most importantly, he doesn't trust the judicial branch. That's what he said himself in his various speech. I don't trust them to give fair rulings. I don't trust that they're actually there in respect to actual law. He doesn't actually even believe that. So what he's doing is expanding. Hang on, my turn. So he's expanding it as quickly as he possibly can. But he did say that he would abide by the rulings of these judges. He just recently said this, and we don't know what's gonna come of that. Right now, he's expanding this office to try to figure out these audits, this type of thing. I don't see what he's actually done wrong. You're already panicking, but we haven't really had a chance to see what happens if he abides by these rulings, doesn't abide by these rulings. Right. We don't really know that yet.
Right.
Well, Doge in and of itself is probably a wholly illegal agency. I don't think that Doge even exists. I don't think they have the legal capacity to even do what Trump wants them to do. Number one. Number two. Bringing up the Russia collusion stuff is funny when the entire foundation for Hunter Biden and Burisma was entirely fabricated. That person's already been convicted by the FBI for lying about the origination for that. And three, Donald Trump was already found with people who were working with him, collude with Russia. Roger Stone did it, but he was pardoned by Donald Trump the same way Donald Trump pardoned all 1,600 J6 offenders.
Same way that Biden just Biden does the whole crime family, right? Pardons the whole crime family. That's why. Yeah.
How many crimes?
And then pardons
Republicans had like 8 years to investigate it and found nothing. How do you know 8 years to investigate it? What do you mean? How many special counsels?
How did we have 8 years to investigate it?
Nothing.
How did we have 8 years to investigate
him from as soon as Biden was in office? They've been investigating this guy, Hunter Biden, over and over again. They found nothing.
Through him,
Biden's government investigated Biden's son and found nothing.
You can find personalized weight loss prescriptions, including GLP-1
Good work, guys.
injections and oral
nothing. That's why
I'm
the
not
charges
talking
we got the other day were for tax fraud. Well, for Joe Biden, they found nothing ever.
Well, Destiny,
This isn't going to make it better. I just want to make sure that we
Destiny,
can
why-
get back to the actual point.
Destiny, if none of them have committed crimes, why do they all need preemptive pardon?
Yeah, they all need
Because
pardons.
Trump has shown over and over again that he doesn't need crimes to start chasing down people, and the Republicans have no problem hunting people down to try to go on
And
fishing.
the Democrats haven't been doing that for the last year.
Give me one example.
Stormy bloody Daniels. Honestly.
Did he break a law? Did he break a law?
What
Also,
a
that wasn't
farce
the
of a
federal government.
case.
That was the state.
Are you
Okay, so
honestly
don't like the
happy
law.
that
That's fine.
the
You don't
only
like the law.
time
You
an
don't like the
American
law.
hang on, the only
If you
time
don't
an
like the law,
American
you just don't like
president
the law. No, I don't care.
the
I don't care.
only
If you don't
time
like
an
the law,
American
just say
president was
that.
ever
I
dragged
don't
for a
like the
criminal
law.
court was over a one-night stand with a porn star 20 years ago. Utterly
It
preposterous.
wasn't over a one-night stand. It was over misappropriating
Oh,
campaign
come
funds
on,
and then creating a
Destiny.
paper trail. You can, if you don't like the law, that's fine.
You've had presidents like Obama waging illegal drone programs, killing thousands of innocent people. Why is he not in a
Illegal
criminal
as
court?
for who? Illegal as for who? Which crimes? What are we talking about?
You don't think illegal
You can't
drone
just say
programs
illegal
are
because
criminal?
it sounds illegal as for who?
Oh, you think they're
You can say
lawful?
illegal because it sounds bad. Apparently so.
What
Yeah,
about the
you can
illegal
say
invasion of
illegal
Iraq by
as
George Bush?
for which? What are we talking about for illegal invasion? Illegal
I'm
as for
talking
what
about crimes.
Which crime? Which crime? What crime
A
are you
bigger
talking about?
crime than
New York
sleeping with
State
a
was
porn
crime,
star.
misappropriating campaign funds.
I'm making the point. I'm making the point. The only time an American president has ever been dragged to a criminal court was not over running illegal drone programs or illegally invading sovereign countries. It was over an alleged one-night stand with a porn star. It involved a bit of paper shuffling. It was completely ridiculous.
You have strong feelings about what you think should be a crime or not. You don't care about the law. There's no legal argument to be had. Then if you just think it's a crime because it's bad, you don't like it, or you think it's a crime because it's not a crime because you think it's a big deal, that's fine. But I mean, like, if you want to have the legal
that's the
argument,
logic for you.
if you want to talk about
bad things are done via the process of law, that's fine. But if you do good things
saying
after
it's
the process
fine.
of law,
I'm
that's bad. It's like, what are you talking about, man?
I know. Here's my chain of logic. I know it's hard to follow. If you are a criminal, it's because you've broken a law. Not all bad things are criminal. Okay, not all bad things are crimes. You can think somebody did a bad thing, but they didn't commit a crime. Donald Trump committed crimes in New York State, probably committed crimes insofar as Georgia is concerned, and he's committed federal crimes insofar as the Mar-a-Lago documents case was and the J6 case was. He won't be held accountable for all of that, thankfully, because he's dismissed it. He does everything he can to elude accountability. But those are crimes. If you want to say I don't like the war in Iraq and that's illegal, illegal as per who? We can talk about the ICJ or the ICC if you want, but that gets obviously way more complicated.
No, that wasn't what my point was. My point was
crimes.
Yeah, it wasn't my point. My point was to say that from your view, you're only concerned about process of law in this case,
yes,
right?
the law, yes,
not
correct,
about
yes.
hang on. Not about the moral implications of the actual waste, fraud, and abuse that is brought up. Only that the technical process is followed. So it's like, okay, but whether they're not following your technical process, but they're actually finding waste, fraud, and abuse from a moral implication, that's actually a good thing. Now, I don't even agree with you that they're breaking any laws. I don't even agree that they're breaking any laws. These challenges are brand new. We have no idea how this is going to play out. You don't. I don't. But we have no idea if he's going to adhere to what the court is going to say. No, we don't have a good idea. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's not. We don't know for sure that Trump is going to just go, oh, I'm just going to Jackson the courts. The courts can enforce their own law. Like, that is speculation. That's beyond the pale.
They've already done that. A judge has already issued a ruling saying they've already violated a TRO. So that's already happened to some extent. Now, how far will it go? Who knows? They've already done exactly that. DOJ does not have the legal authority to go in and unilaterally.
No, they're getting a legal challenge back, doesn't he?
They have.
They're getting a legal challenge back.
Read the TROs. Their response was, "Oh, we're going after fraud," and the judge laughed. And he said, "This isn't even."
That doesn't. Wait. So yes, they are. Not only are they going to respond to this, but they're setting up for legal challenges to go back the other direction. This is obvious. And by the way, this is part of the process. Like, I don't know why you just pretend like these politicians don't expand their offices all the time, and that's what the judicial does, right? It comes in, it'll rein it in, it'll say this is constitutional, it's not constitutional, you can't do this, you can't do this. They do it all the time. There's so much precedent for this, in fact. So if he doesn't adhere to what the judges end up saying, to what these courts actually say when he has no more legal standing to fight it, then you have a leg to stand on. Right now, you don't.
He's
right
already
now,
done that.
he's acting, acting the best he can in the ability of the office of the President of the United States.
We will see.
So the goal should be to just break as many laws as possible then, and then see what happens.
No, Trump has made it clear he'll accept the ruling of the judges. If he doesn't, that's another matter. I want to end
that doesn't even follow anyway. Like,
guys, I want to
follow logically.
We're running out of time. I don't want to leave us without getting to the really contentious story of the week, which is paper straws. Let's watch a clip of Donald Trump talking about straws.
We're going back to plastic straws. These things don't work. I've had them many times, and on occasion they break, they explode. If something's hot, they don't last very long, like a matter of minutes.
They explode like a Hezbollah beeper. These things are terrible.
Sometimes a matter of seconds. It's a ridiculous situation. So we're going back to plastic straws. I think it's okay.
So yeah, I'm tempted to support this. I've heard bad things. I don't get a lot. Look, I mean, I don't buy drinks out in public often at all. I always have organic juice with me or just water. I don't trust, drinking fucking drinks from wherever the fuck, buying shit out that's available to the public. Like drinks on the go in a fucking in a styrofoam cup with a straw. That's just not my gig anymore. But I've had plastic or the paper straws before. They do melt like they're fucking made of cotton candy or something. It's fucking ridiculous. But I heard that they have worse chemicals in it. Like the plastic straws, they actually put, and this is a thing too, you guys that get hot coffee out places, and it is tempting when I'm with somebody that they get a hot coffee and I smell it and it's in the to-go cup and they just add whatever to it. It's like I'm tempted. I never get coffee out though. I mean, it's like very unlikely that I would. But a hot coffee in one of those paper cups, they have that lining on it that is supposed to be like bad chemicals. I think forever chemicals or some bullshit. Fucking the straws supposedly have something similar, if not the same shit on it, because it's a paper straw, but they put this layer of bullshit on it to try to make it so it doesn't completely just melt and it doesn't work and you just end up drinking the chemicals. Marfin 42, thanks for joining us. Wrong. 3 Republic-led committees investigated Biden and found nothing. Okay. What are you saying? Has Destiny said anything wrong yet? I'm getting impatient. Sigh. I don't know if you've said anything wrong. They've been agreeable. Why do you want big government to tell you which straws to use? I thought we didn't like big government. MAGA changes their deeply held beliefs like a woman changes shoes. Very, very witty there, sir. Yeah, so I did vote for Trump, but I was very much on the fence about it. And I assumed we would get some people that just want to come here and talk shit. But no, so I'm a big fan of Destiny, and I recently I haven't been following him as much, which I already discussed earlier. But no, yeah, I think we disagree with his takes on some facts. I don't know that he's necessarily said anything that's wrong. What has Andrew said that's wrong? I have not watched this debate yet. I literally don't know, like I don't know what points who makes. I wasn't prepared to have counter arguments for I had no idea. I knew that they brought up Kanye West, which is why we were watching this. So, because I got a new parody song about Kanye being anti-Semitic. Why don't you stick around for a few minutes, sir? I'll play it in a second. Oh, and to your just to answer your question, no, I'm not saying that I want big government to tell me what straws I can have. So yeah, I'm not realistically in favor of what he's signing here. But why did we implement the other straws? Was that not any kind of environmental pressure? I thought that's why we switched to the paper straws, is because we were getting at least the companies. I don't know if it was government regulation necessarily, but they were getting pressure from environmental agencies. Marfin, are you still in here? I'm talking to you. See, this is the thing. The people come in here. I don't know if they see me and just I don't look liberal enough. I don't know what it is. Oh, okay, there you're in here. Well, welcome, sir. Thanks for checking out the stream. No, sir, I just for real, and most of my chat knows this, even though probably a good portion of my chat is mostly conservatives and stuff, but I truly try to score things fairly. I don't just come on here and play Destiny videos and talk shit about him sucking dicks or something. I appreciate his mind. I like his arguments.
And I don't think that plastic's going to affect a shark very much as they're munching their way through the ocean. Okay.
Destiny, can we at least agree that paper straws suck?
City ordinance and statewide thing, yeah. So it's not big government, but it's government. But anyway, yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, again, if I were being tempted into agreeing with this bill, I would say that it's the pendulum swinging back in the other direction, because it's not like it was just the free market was encouraged to use paper straws that melt in your mouth like fucking M&Ms. Okay. It's not the free market. That was government that encouraged that. And so now government is pushing back. But I do think I think paper straws should be available. Why not have both at places? Maybe you will save some turtles. Wasn't that right? Like, that's the turtles, the pictures with the turtles, and they got the straw going into their nose hole. That's pretty brutal. Oh, no, you're good, dude. Look, you were being fairly cordial. I appreciate you. I'm telling you, half the time I cover some touchy subject that I don't think I didn't click the title of Destiny versus Andrew Wilson. I didn't, there's nothing in the title or anything to imply that which side I'd be on. But often when, no offense to you, but when Democrat or left-leaning people get into the chat, they just start talking shit immediately, thinking I'm just on here sucking Trump's dick, and that's not the case. So,
or rather, you can't suck with a paper straw.
You know what? I'm going to be like a good conservative, just despite conservatives. I'm going to buy 1,000 paper straws. I'm going to replace
Destiny knows about sucking. Okay, I had to say it.
every plastic straw that I see in a straw from now on with the worst, the shittiest paper straws that dissolve the second you put them in your fucking soft drink. That's my goal for the next 2 years. That's my way of protesting.
Andrew, your response to that dramatic statement from Destiny about paper straws?
Well, then I have to at least counter with buying 1,000 plastic straws, right? But anyway, I drink out of these stupid.
At least they're playing nice. I like it. I like Andrew and Destiny debating. I really do. I enjoy it. They need to stop blacklisting each other, whatever the fuck was going on.
Paper straws. Last time I was in Santa Barbara going to the whatever podcast, and they do suck, and they do dissolve quickly, and everything tastes like cardboard when you drink through these straws.
Totally
but there's also all sorts of chemicals in them. I'm not even sure that they're safer than plastic.
No.
And there's a lot of data on this too. Like they dissolve the drinks into the mouth, and they have all sorts of chemicals, preservatives in the paper. The baseline.
So he's got some fact. He's got something pulled up. He's looking at. But yeah, I remember hearing about that. The chemicals in the paper straws. Is it worse than microplastics? You got to pick your poison if you want to drink some fucking fountain drink somewhere.
Plastic is non-reactive. There's all sorts of little things that you can point out here that is problematic when it comes to paper straws themselves. But ultimately, they just suck. Like if you're going to replace, what people in California do? They get metal drinking straws, right?
Right.
And then they use the metal drinking straw. They just bring their drinking straw with them.
Yes.
Like maybe that's a good alternative. I don't like the idea necessarily of drinking out of plastic. I don't think that's the greatest idea. But the paper straw thing was always stupid.
Yeah, I agree. Well, gentlemen, we're going to leave it there. I've got to say, I'm pleasantly surprised by the tenor of our debate today. How have you guys found it?
Well, you got to give us different topics, and then we'll really go at each other.
You know what? We'll get you back and we'll do it again. I'm not being topic shamed, but I really enjoyed it. So thank you both for doing it. Let's do it again. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks a lot.
All right, that was good fun. That was informative. We looked some stuff up and whatever, it was nice. All right, we'll play this parody one last time, then I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, guys. It's late. I'm barely making it in time. I wanted to be off latest 10:30, so we're about there. All right, guys, new parody song. Here we go. One more time. Please don't cancel me. This is making fun of Kanye West, okay? It's written from the perspective of Kanye West. I do not share these beliefs. Thank you. Here we go.
Fashion, kite. Fashion, kite. Fashion, kite. Fashion, kite. I don't believe in Jewish stars, but I believe that their dicks have scars. They cut foreskins like cigar tips. They use Muslims as human targets to turn Gaza into new apartments. I'm more inclined to free Palestine, reading Mein Kampf with the view of the water, cause Hitler is my favorite author. I make getting canceled look easy. Adidas, stop producing my Yeezy. Saying shalom sounds so cheesy. Do a Nazi salute when you see me. They'll find brain tumors probably when the coroner does my autopsy. Call me Eva Braun when you mock me, cause I love Hitler more As than you Nazis. recall, you know I love to mouth off, but you never thought I'd be a fan of Adolf. I like to troll, fashion, kite. Now I've lost control, fashion, kite. No. I know I sound vile, my style, Gentile, Sieg Heil, I cannot refrain. I know I'm cray-cray, oy vey, like RFK, I have worms in my brain. I hope you all breathe in some gases and get turned into ashes. If your pictures get added to a Holocaust museum, I hope nobody goes to see them. You know I love to mouth off, but you never thought I'd be a fan of Adolf. I like to troll, bashing kikes. Now I've lost control, bashing kikes. Oh
no. Another banger for the books, guys. Jesus Christ. Why do I do this stuff? Why do I do it? You gotta know, I love the craft. Oh, fuck. What's that Dark Match Gene? You should upload that to honk.fm, bro. It's a big parody song site. Huh. Never heard of it. Let me write that down, actually. Hold on. Honk.fm. Is it, it's spelled out, D-O-T? Or is it honk and then a period, FM? I'll look it up later. I'll look up both, whatever. Thanks for the idea. Yeah, I need more places to post some of my stuff, dude, because you know what? It's more people got to hear this shit. Ugh. More people got to hear these bangers. It just ain't right. All right, you guys, thank you all so much for the fucking support. I got to get off of here, eat some dinner, get my ass to fucking bed. And tomorrow we're probably doing a short stream, like an hour or something. I'm trying to get this video done for the parody song so we can post it around and stuff. So yeah, guys. But I should be on around 8 o'clock tomorrow. So yeah, there's that. Oh, and I got a new here we go. I got a new disclaimer on here too. Hold on.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes.
Did you guys like it? Okay. All right. Let's get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for hanging with me. For real. Love you too, man. Thank you all so fucking much for the support. Scott, Adam, Truth is Unbreakable, all you fucking guys that keep hanging with me and stuff. For real, I appreciate all the support. I'm having a shitload of fun. I know a lot of you hit me up and say, dude, the stream here or there was really funny, and I like the songs and all that, and I appreciate all the fucking support. Promo code LOVER in here. Thank you, Lover. So yeah, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. We'll work on this. We'll get this video done. All right. See ya. Mwah.